Anyone there?
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, welcome back. It's going down as it always does, boy. DontaesBoxingNation Radio live. We in here, Milt.
What it do, what it do?
Yeah, Milt, Big Milt in the building.
For sure.
Dante always in the building. Y'all already know what it is. Let me go ahead and give shots out. We haven't even started the show yet, man, but the show is going to be lit tonight, Milt.
It is going to be lit.
We about to talk about what Floyd Mayweather said about that boy, quote unquote, snorting them lines. Still snorting them lines.
Still snorting them lines.
We're going to talk about, Miguel Cotto. We're going to do a big review on this Lomachenko versus Rigo fight.
Oh, yeah.
The most significant, top three most significant fights of the year. Reminds me of War versus Kovalev, man. Instead of USA versus former Soviet Union, it's Cuba versus former Soviet Union. So let's see what it is, man. Okay, I'm getting a bad video stream. A little warning over here. Let's see what's that all about. Anyway, let me go ahead and say what's up to everyone in the comment section. Hey, I want you guys to let me know, because I just got a little message saying that the stream just went from great to bad as hell. So y'all let me know if you guys are reading us, hearing us loud and clear. Okay, my man Champ Boxer said, what up, man? What's going on, man? And rep your city, rep your town, y'all. Once again, we will get the show started in a minute, but we just giving out shout outs as we always do.
That's right. Jeffrey Guy, Cotto Kid.
Yes, sir.
Alejandro Garcia.
Alejandro, that's what it
Jeffrey
is.
Jeffrey Guy.
He said, De La Hoya back wearing fishnets, question mark. New media in the building. That's what it is, Jeffrey Guy.
Oh, yeah.
All day. My man Pennywise, the dancing clown, said, what up, bruh? What's going on, family? Antonio James said, what's up, Dante? All right. Tone Low, what's up, y'all? Yeah, man. Let me see if this stream is good. I think it froze. Did it freeze? Let me see. Hey, you guys hearing us and everything, right? My man, or what's that? Orlando, Finney, DBN all day, baby.
Just the Cess is giving us love from the city, baby. Mad love from Vegas.
Yeah, we're about to get the show started in a minute. You know what we do over here, man. We go ahead and get them shots out before we start the show. Mike Smith said that Jersey City, New Jersey in the house all day. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Booty Gang Captain coming in from B More. Oh, man. Love to hear some folks from B More.
My man Cobby, is that Kobe or Cobby? He said it's the nation.
Tommy Wallace, he repping that 702. He a friend of the nation.
Yeah. Let me see. My man said, okay, yeah, good looking out. Checking that mic check. Yeah, I don't know why. It was I got a message saying bad video setting. What's it? Please use. Yeah, hopefully we'll be good. But you guys,
we just trying to make sure we're gonna be good when we get into this.
Yeah, once again, you guys hearing us, and if there is any problems with the audio or the video feed, this is gonna be uploaded and archived on my channel anyway, so you guys gonna get it for real. All right, y'all. We're about to go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Y'all already know what it is. Give me a good minute.
Coming at you, J Real 504 Music.
All day. So it'll be like about a 1 minute pause, and then we're going to get into the live show. Once again, man, it's going down like a plane crash. We got a whole lot to talk about, yeah.
Look at Boxing 24/7. I hear you, but I disagree with you.
Already.
Oh,
he must be disagreeing with somebody.
He must be. He must be.
He
got
the
to laugh
LOL.
my ass off. Yeah.
He got the LOL.
He got jokes. He got jokes.
Off. Yeah.
He got jokes.
Yeah, man. But anyway, I hear you, but I disagree. You just say, "Hey, what's going on?" Hey, man, I don't know, man. I kind of disagree with that. Let me kind of explain why.
I just said,
man.
"What's up?"
Yeah, that's kind of biased,
Right.
because the way you say "what's up," you being a little biased on that one.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get this shit started, man. Oh man.
Nation. And let me tell you something right now. If you guys are looking for the best fragrance products in the world, you need to go to ashkickin.com. That is ashkickin.com. Keep your home smelling fresh and clean with Ash Kickin fragrance products. Treat your skin and hair with Ash Kickin all-natural health and beauty products. Everything you need to create a comfortable home living environment and create a comfortable space for entertaining. The best incense burners in the world, home fragrance products, and health and beauty products, go to ashkickin.com.
Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Hey yo, check this out. This is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
Another one. Yeah.
And another one.
Man, we back, boy. Couldn't wait to get back on the mic. We got a whole lot to talk about. Dontae's Boxing Nation Radio. We live over here. I am your host, Dante. I got my co-host in the building, Milt. What's going on, Milt?
What's good, baby? Let's get it in.
All right, man. We got a whole lot to talk about. Let me go ahead and also introduce the panel as we always do at this time. This is the man right here with the golden voice. He has a son that's one of the hottest prospects in the world right now. My man Money Powell III is online. What's going on, Money?
Hey, what's happening, gentlemen? What's going on, fellas?
Good night. Good night. How we doing tonight, sir?
All right. That's
hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
And we're ready to get down this evening.
Oh man,
I can't wait.
We getting down, man. We getting down. And I got my man Kirk Jackson. He's a former fighter. He's also a writer on BoxingInsider.com. Check out his articles. He got some of them new media articles over there, man. What's going on, Kirk?
Not much. What's going on, Dante, Milton, Money? How y'all doing?
Hey, good, brother.
All right.
Doing well, man.
Let's go ahead and get it in like New Edition, man. We about to get it in, boy. But anyway, let's go ahead and start off and talk about some of these fights. Once again, you know, we're going to pretty much touch on everything, and we're going to open up the phone lines as we always do. Everybody is already filling up the phone lines, so we'll try to get to the phone lines a little earlier since y'all already done called in. But we're going to talk about everything and whatever you guys want to talk about as well. And shouts out, of course, to everybody that has already joined that super chat army in the comments section. I appreciate that. But before we go ahead and get started, ashkickin.com. Y'all already seen the ads, so let's go ahead and shout out ashkickin.com. That is a dope-ass website if y'all haven't checked it out. Go check that out. Also, Box Runner Shoes. Go ahead and get your Box Runner shoes, boxrunnershoes.com. Those are some dope-ass boxing shoes. You can actually spar in them, and you can get some road work with them as well. Yep. So check those out. Shout out to my man Marvin Columbus for that one right there, man. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Yeah.
Milton, so we had a good weekend of boxing. I mean, you know, it ain't gonna be like this weekend coming up.
No.
But it was, you know, it was some
good.
boxing.
It was good. It was some good boxing,
you
man.
know, we didn't have a drought, you know, so go ahead and give me your thoughts.
I guess we'll start from the top with saying farewell to a legend. One of the best to lace him up.
Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, Miguel Cotto. He finished up. It didn't quite go as well as he wanted it to.
Not at all.
I kind of thought that I thought he would pull it out, but I thought it would be a tough fight. I knew Saddam was going to be in there to fight. A lot of people thought that it was a cherry pick. They compared it to
Jeff Horn Pacquiao.
Yeah, or either Floyd Berto, but that even really wasn't a straight up cherry pick. Berto was a tough ass fight, but Floyd just made it look easy. But you know, it's a lot of people giving him some flack about it. But I'm still proud of the fighter that Cotto is. You know, I'm not gonna give him a hard time about it. He went out there, he gave it his best. He appeared to be injured after the 7th round, so you know, he's 37 years old, man. He's been in some tough wars, and hey, he went out there and gave it one last shot. So I tip my hat to him, my Georgia cap. If y'all hadn't noticed that, SEC champions. But I digress. Yeah, I tip my hat to him, man. Farewell, enjoy retirement. Thanks for all the great fights you gave us, Miguel, and we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, man. Salute to Miguel Cotto. Speaking of the bicep tear, I thought it was kind of interesting because in the first fight, Roy Jones and them, they were talking about injuries because you gotta help me out. What's the is Ray the short,
Ray Vargas.
Ray Vargas and the short guy, his opponent.
Negrete.
Okay, Negrete, you know, Ray Vargas, he started to drop them body shots towards the later rounds.
Right.
And then close to the end of the fight, Negrete, he went to his corner, and Roy could already, I think it was Roy and Max or whatever, they could kind of read. It looked like it looked like the body language, like he was ready to kind of quit, hang him up, and because he was talking to his trainer, and his trainer was trying to, you know, push him,
motivate him,
right? Yeah, he was trying to push him, motivate him, and it was funny because I remember hearing Roy Jones after that. Roy Jones, he had said, you know, look, I tell my fighters, you know, if you do have an injury, you know, they tell me something wrong with their right hand, I say, what's wrong with your left hand?
Right.
Well, you gotta keep fighting. He said, you know, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it. You know, it's, you know, he didn't say that, but that's pretty much what he said.
That's the gist of what he was getting at.
Yeah, he was saying, you know, it's a tough sport, and you know, it comes with that. So what he was basically saying is there are no excuses. I mean, some excuses are, you know, better than others, of course. You know, if you like, you know, what's his name, Jean Pascal. Who in there looking like a zombie with one arm hanging, you know, like somebody just blew half his damn, you know, arm off.
Right.
You know, that's a different situation.
That's a different situation.
You know, but in this, you know, that brings us back to the Cotto. I mean, you know, when it comes to Miguel Cotto, like you said, he's 37. Clearly, the foot movement gave him a lot of problems.
A lot of problems.
Fight. Yeah. You know, credit to Saddam. Congratulations to Saddam Ali.
Yeah, man. Congratulations
to Saddam. That was his dream, like he said.
Right.
His hometown. Right. You know, he beats Miguel Cotto in his front yard, basically. You know, front yard and backyard. You know.
Right.
So congratulations to Saddam.
Right.
You could see that from the beginning. You know, he was outboxing Cotto just a little bit.
Right.
And it was funny because every time Saddam gave Miguel Cotto a lot of respect and stopped punching, that's the only time when Cotto was building momentum.
Right.
And I was looking at the fight and I was like, I don't know why. And as soon as Saddam let his hands go, he started to receive the respect from Miguel Cotto again.
Exactly.
Cotto would start backing up. And I was like, man, is Saddam not noticing that every time?
He did not notice it.
Yeah.
Did you notice his trainer,
Andre
Rozier?
Yeah.
He kept pushing him. And even Curtis Stevens came up to the apron. And Curtis Stevens, because I think they're in the same stable, in the same camp. And so he came up to the apron and was like, man, everybody in there was like, listen, man, you letting this get away from you. I don't know if Saddam was caught up in who he was fighting, because he rocked Cotto in the second round, twice in the second round.
Yeah.
And let him off the hook.
But let's bring you in, Money. I noticed, just like Milt just said, that he hurt him. But I thought, Money, that Saddam did notice, at least the first time, he definitely noticed. I thought that he hurt him. You could see, you know, Miguel Cotto, he was almost doing some of them dances that your son be putting on these kids, you know. But with that being said, you know,
oh man,
with that being said, Money, do you think Saddam noticed that he was hurting him, or you think he was just respecting him, afraid that he would get caught with something if he got too eager?
You know, my son said the same thing you just asked, and he was thinking that maybe I think it was a little bit of both. He knew he hurt him, but he was still giving him respect because he didn't want to get caught. It's early. You don't know what Miguel is capable of, because he does have recuperative powers. And he has the ability to come back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he could crush you with a left hook. Yeah.
But when I saw him get hit And I'd even said it right before it happened. I said the way that Miguel Cotto holds his left hand down, I said this about him many, many times before. He is extremely susceptible to that straight right hand, someone coming right down the line with it. They're going to nail him all day long. That's exactly what happened. Exactly. And I was worried from that point on.
Yeah,
I was too. I didn't think he would make it through the entire fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Saddam Ali wasn't throwing every single punch at the same velocity, the same speed,
right,
kind of telegraphing stuff,
right,
throwing it a little wide, he might have been able to set up the knockout punch. Right. But everything was telegraphed. Everything, you know, was home. It had home run intentions on it.
Right.
And I think that's why he couldn't actually get the knockout. And that's what separates special fighters once again. Like when it comes to Errol Spence figuring out a way to stop Kell Brook. You had to, you had to be intelligent. You had to be very selective with your punches to get somebody like that out. Same thing with Algieri. Pacquiao knocks him down 6 times, couldn't figure out the puzzle on getting the KO.
Getting him out of there.
He even with Jeff Horn, he hurt Jeff Horn, couldn't figure out how to close the deal. And Errol Spence was able to do that. Saddam Ali, you know, hopefully, you know, he learns, you know, from this fight and learns how to finish. But once again,
put punches together.
Yeah, put punches together. You know, maybe every once in a while you throw a curve ball, then it's a speed ball, a slow one. You know, every once in a while you throw some pity pat shots and then land something hard.
You know who the king of that was, man? Was B-Hop. B-Hop varied speed and distance and varied the speed and the strength of his punches so well, man. And it just reminded me of that. But I remember when he fought Joppy, which was, in my book, I have that listed as like the quintessential, if you want to see a technical fight, somebody just dismantle another fighter, disarm them, dismantle them, and hit them with everything that they want to touch them with. B-Hop over Joppy was that fight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt about it.
But he started trying to knock him out because he bet on himself to knock him out. And everything he was throwing was hard.
Did he bet on himself in that fight?
Yeah, he bet on himself to KO. Because Joppy had got knocked out by... we doing a little history lesson right here, folks. I'm sorry about that.
It's boxing talk, man. It's boxing talk.
Hey, listen. I think Trinidad had knocked out Joppy.
Yeah. In a savage, vicious way, man.
Right, and so B-Hop thought he was going. B-Hop said he was going to knock him out, and he bet on himself for the knockout. Because you remember B-Hop was putting money on himself at one point in time just to make a little extra cash. He even put money on himself for the Trinidad fight. For the Trinidad fight. Yeah.
Oh, I know he came up. I know he came up on that one.
Yeah, he did.
I ain't gonna even sit here and try to act like, you know, I picked that one. I thought Hopkins was gonna get annihilated in that fight.
I picked it, man. I'm serious. He was in his head. He was in his head for one thing because he went over there and threw the Puerto Rican flag on the ground, and then he was like, I bet he did it in the States, and then he was like, I bet you won't do it in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
and he went over there to Puerto Rico and almost didn't make it out alive.
I never forget when he did that. They was escorting him out. I'll never forget this. It was like
Floyd Chop was good too. Floyd Chop. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it was a time when Hopkins, like I said, he threw the flag down in Puerto Rico. You know, they rushed him out. You had some seats right above him as he had to go through.
Yeah,
and I remember this fan, boy, he threw a hell of a little hook uppercut, and he was timing it perfect. And that just show you how good that boy Hopkins reflexes
I'm telling you, man.
Because he wasn't even looking. Hopkins wasn't even looking, and this dude threw a perfect.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Went, boom.
Yeah.
He timed it. You could just see he was waiting. He was like, yeah, come on. Get a little closer, B-Hop. Get a little closer. He threw that shit, and B-Hop he slipped that shit like the Matrix and just kept on moving. I was like, boy.
Yeah, man, I'll never forget that one, bro. That was some hype. That was some hype.
Absolutely. It was something. Was somebody about to say something else? Okay,
I apologize. And then Kirk, I want to bring you in on that on what you thought about Cotto's performance and Saddam Ali's performance from last night.
Well, I think many people expected Cotto to actually run through Saddam Ali based on Saddam. The last time we saw him in a meaningful fight was against Jesse Vargas, and he got knocked out.
Right.
At welterweight. So I think people were expecting, oh, well, Cotto, he's fought at junior middleweight, he's fought at middleweight. He's known for his power and his technique and his skills, so surely he should be able to stop Saddam Ali, much in the fashion Jesse Vargas was. But what people failed to take a look at is Saddam Ali's style. Maybe it's not directly like Austin Trout's or like a Floyd Mayweather, but he has the ability to move and to counterpunch, and he has good boxing ability. So his footwork we saw and his lateral movement gave Miguel Cotto problems where he couldn't really set down, set on his punches and get get combinations off or to land consistently hard shots, maybe not until the mid rounds. So I think Saddam Ali's ability was underrated, and he was able to exploit Miguel Cotto's style and age, because Miguel Cotto definitely looked like he was old, because after the 7th or 8th round, he looked gassed. But
I just saw him.
He didn't go to the body as much as we're used to seeing him, and that's due to Saddam Ali's movement and his ability to counterpunch, because he countered and landed those right hands that stunned Cotto.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a testament to that, I believe.
Did you see, did y'all catch Cotto versus Komagai a couple months back? He looked, but Komagai was there to be hit too. I will say that, and he does not have the head movement, the skill.
We're gonna take a call in a minute. Thanks for holding, guys. Go ahead, Milt.
Yeah, he doesn't have the skill that Saddam has, but I think that he has some very good power, man. I've seen him in some pretty good fights before, and Cotto was rocking him. And then another thing I think back to is, how was he able to take Canelo's shots? They stood toe to toe in the center of the ring, man, banging it out. And Saddam, I know it's the punch that you don't see. I know he probably anticipated some of those punches that Cotto was throwing, but I just don't see how he could take those shots from Cotto, and then he struggled when he gets hit by Saddam. I mean, he got rocked maybe about 3 or 4, at least 3, maybe 4 times. Styles
make fights too. Yeah. I mean, you had a guy that was coming forward as opposed to a guy who was moving away. And we also seen the frustration that set in when Cotto fought against Trout. You know, the movement and everything.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it was a little bit of a different style, but it was that type of, evasive, stick, hit and not be hit, type style.
Right.
And those type of styles usually give the majority of fighters problems.
Right.
So, but with that being said, shout out to my my moderators for always, my moderators, moderators in the comment section. They always holding it down. My man Coach Sheldon got it cleaned up in there. My man Angel Santos, and we're gonna get a couple
What's up,
more moderators as well. So shout out to my moderators. That's what it is, man. Let's go ahead and take a call. Once again, I'm gonna play this clip. I'm gonna play the actual clip of what Floyd Mayweather had to say about Oscar De La Hoya talking about the Conor McGregor fight, the double standards, and what he thought about what Oscar had to say. It's some pretty funny stuff.
Yeah, we touched on it last weekend. But.
Yeah, it's some vintage stuff. It sounds like once again Floyd Mayweather is on this domino basketball talk. I like that type of animated Floyd Mayweather talk. So we'll go ahead and play that clip for you guys. But let's go ahead and take a call before we talk about that Floyd Mayweather news. And once again, we're going to do a big breakdown on Lomachenko versus Rigo. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the phone lines and see what we got here.
Get that 706 first. Let me see who that is.
No, that's something.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got 832. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
This your boy Jimmy J. Smooth from the Jimmy J. Smooth Network. What's poppin', everybody?
What's going on, family? What's good, man?
What's happening?
What's on your mind?
Hey, my boy Errol Spence did Miguel Cotto a favor, because if Errol Spence fought this Miguel Cotto and he lost to Saddam Ali, who got knocked by half a putty patrol to Jesse Vargas, if he had fought Errol Spence, man, Errol Spence would have got that body count down and knocked that boy out, man. Real talk, man.
It would have been ugly. It would have been ugly, man.
There's no doubt about it. It's no doubt about it. I mean, thank God for small favors, I guess, when it comes to Miguel Cotto. But I mean, it's to me, Jimmy, it's a couple fighters I think that would have stopped that Miguel Cotto. I mean, to be honest with you, Miguel, he did look a little slower, and once again, that the foot movement, man, he couldn't deal with the foot movement. Saddam took away his hook, and when he took away that hook, after that one right hand that Cotto landed, he couldn't really land the right hand anymore. But once again, if Saddam wasn't teeing off with every single punch, he probably would have got the KO in that fight.
And a couple times if he'd have followed up.
Exactly.
If he'd have followed up.
Exactly.
I mean.
And we have to think.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, go ahead. What I was about to say is we have to give thanks to Andre Rozier because Andre Rozier
I was thinking that same thing. You read my mind. You read my mind. Yeah.
You got to give props.
He was. You're right, Jimmy. He was definitely on point. I remember it was one round when I was noticing Saddam. He was standing straight up. And what was it? I believe he was just standing straight up. He was kind of leaving himself open. And it was something he was doing in particular. I'm forgetting now. But Andre, he pointed it out right away. He was like, man, all you got to do is sit down short and use your jab and start moving your head. You're making things a lot more difficult than it has to be.
Right.
And maybe that was a little bit of him panicking just a little bit, his nerves a little bit. Where he'll just tee off instead of thinking about what he was doing. But yeah, man, credit to Andre, man. Great trainer, man.
In the comment section, legendary boxer, I think that's what's who posted it. He was, he brought up a good point. Mikey Garcia probably could have looked like a world beater last night, because I think Mikey
Garcia.
They offered the fight to Mikey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They offered that fight to Mikey.
Yeah, but it came with that caveat that he had to fight a few other. He had to go into contract with Golden Boy.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I can understand them turning that down, but I think that Mikey would have looked sensational last night again.
Oh, no doubt about
that
it.
Version of Cotto.
As accurate as Mikey is, as strong as he is, and he has good foot movement as well, good lateral movement.
Right.
So yeah,
exactly.
No doubt about it.
Did you guys notice that Miguel Cotto came in pretty light at 151?
I did.
I didn't understand this.
Yeah, he came.
You say you understand that, Money?
He said he can't.
Oh,
maybe he was hoping.
I could not understand that for the life of me. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Maybe he was hoping he'd get the Marquez fight. I don't know, man. At the last minute or something. That was another fight. He wanted that one too.
Marquez fight.
That was another fight that he wanted too.
Oh man.
So yeah, man. Hey Jimmy, well, what's your pick for this weekend? This weekend coming up.
Yeah, why
man?
we got you?
Lomachenko, Rigo.
I think Rigondeaux is gonna beat the brakes off this dude, man.
Okay.
Either Lomachenko is gonna possibly get a decision, or Rigo's gonna beat this dude so bad that he possibly. I can see Rigo making Lomachenko quit. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing with Rigondeaux was knocking dudes out with headgear in the amateurs. There's a lot of video of Rigondeaux knocking people out in the amateurs that we haven't seen before.
I know.
So if you're knocking dudes out in headgear, I mean, he's not necessarily a power puncher, but he's so accurate that if he hits you in the right spot in that ring, you're gonna either go to sleep or you're gonna quit in that corner, man. So I think Rigondeaux is going to put on the clinic with Lomachenko, because he can cut off angles, he can use angles, and he's got hella defense. So I can see Rigondeaux beating the brakes off of Loma.
And he is a power puncher, because when you breaking jaws with one single punch, that's impressive. I mean, look at all the fights we watch. How often do we see that? I mean, this man breaking jaws with one single punch. He don't have to hit you with an accumulation of shots, which sometimes, like Ali, for example, got his jaw broken. I mean, and that's against a heavyweight.
A heavyweight.
We talking about one shot from a dude weighing a buck and some corn nuts. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on, man.
He weighed $1.25, man. He's breaking eye sockets.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
He's precise.
Yeah.
So I mean, he can hurt you.
That one he hit Donaire with. He hit Donaire, man.
Oh man, and stop Donaire in his tracks
tracks.
away. You want to be a good actor.
It's about as big as Loma was.
I think bigger.
He may have been
Donaire
bigger.
was bigger than Loma.
Donaire
was bigger than Loma, man. Donaire was one of them type of fighters that really blows up. Really rehydrates. So I don't think Loma is like that. I
don't think so either. And they have the rehydration limit of a 138.
Which Loma didn't even, he didn't hesitate to sign and agree on,
I just wonder why they didn't fight at a catch. He said, Rigo said that they tried to get a catch.
And Rigo said that when he wanted it at a catch weight, or when it was at 126, he said Loma didn't want the fight at all.
Right.
He said Loma didn't want the fight at all. And it was funny because I did a video on that a couple days ago where I reported that Rigo said just that. that Loma would not fight him at all in 126. And then what's his name, Loma, you know, he countered by saying that's some BS, because there's an interview where Rigo was saying, don't ask me no questions about Loma, because you know he doesn't fight at 122. And it was crazy, because then I went back to one of my old interviews, you know, where he was actually, Rigo, he was saying a long time ago, he was like, well, you know, we could have had the fight at 126, but he keeps moving up.
Right.
He said, why does he keep moving up?
I remember that.
He said, if he wants to fight, why does he keep moving up to higher weight classes? That was a long time ago that he said that.
Yep.
So once
and you
again,
was talking to him about being funny with the money. I got a question for the panel. Does Rigo have to score a knockout in order to win this fight, or can he win a decision?
Good question.
Can he win a decision?
Nope.
Nope, just that simple.
I don't think that he can win the decision.
You don't think that? I mean, y'all don't think they'll give it to him, or
they don't want him to win. Just with how long it took this fight to come to fruition, and how with the hurdles they've been making him jump through to even get this fight going on. They don't want that man to win.
No.
He has to knock this guy out.
I know they don't want him to win, man. I know they don't. I mean, like I was telling Dante before we came in, we was in pre-production. I'm listening to Errol Spence on Sway in the Morning, you know, a month, you know, or so, a month and a half out from his fight. And it's like they already doing promo, they already taking photos, the face-offs. I haven't seen any promotion for this fight. I haven't seen anything for this fight. I'm like, why are they not a fight of this magnitude, two gold medalists, two-time Olympic gold medalists, exceptionally skilled fighters. How is it you're not hyping this fight up? I haven't seen one commercial on ESPN, and it's an ESPN fight. I'm just not figuring this out. I can't understand the reasoning why they would not try to promote this fight heavily. And I mean, if only thing we could come up with is if Loma loses this fight, I mean, they want this to kind of be like hidden. They don't want everybody to know about it. You know what I mean? They kind of keep it in the shadows a little bit.
Let me say this, and let me say this. I remember when Barack Obama, when he first got elected as president, there was a city in Texas, and the paper didn't report the news at all. and it made headlines. It made national headlines because they didn't report it.
Okay, because they didn't report it.
And they simply responded. They said, over here we report big news. We report big stuff.
Right.
Out here.
Right.
So, but they don't report the first black president being elected. So I mean, it's kind of like this situation right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're looking at this like, yeah, we don't want to acknowledge this because even though it's a 50-50 fight, and like I said, I would not be, like I told Money before we started, I wouldn't be surprised if Lomachenko wins the fight.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
It's a 50-50 fight. Just like the Ward-Kovalev rematch was a 50-50 fight, you know? But that's a little bit different because Andre Ward probably had more of an advantage in adjusting, but still, it's a 50-50 fight.
It is.
So with that all being said, a lot of fans, they looking at this like the Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao situation. Before Floyd signed the contract, they kept saying, Floyd, you scared? Fight Pacquiao, fight Pacquiao. I remember, man, when that fight first got announced, all them fans that used to fill up the comment section, all them fans that used to run up to me on the streets and everything, when he gonna fight Pacquiao? They all went completely silent the day the fight was announced. It was like they just found out about a funeral they had to go to.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Sometimes sometimes
nobody was in the comment section. None of them was in the comment section.
Arguing about the thing becomes the thing. When you don't have that thing to argue about anymore, you ain't got nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? And now, like, okay, they called your bluff. Now what you gonna do? They just sit there and shut up. You know, just be quiet.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet. And once again, they're looking at, the truth of the matter is, the decafs in the old media, they're looking at Rigo as the biggest threat for Lomachenko. Right. They like, God damn it, they was hoping it didn't happen. Just like, once again, I reminisce, I think about when Larry Merchant was still calling fights at the time that Rigo was aggressively calling out Donaire, I remember just Rigo's name being mentioned. Larry almost went as red as a tomato on steroids, boy. That boy, he said, hey, no one wants to see that fight. He said, no one wants to see Rigo against Abner Mars. This is when Abner Mars was undefeated too.
Right.
He got so upset that they even, mentioned Rigo possibly fighting one of them.
Rigo couldn't get a fight, man. Rigo couldn't get a big fight at 122, man. And this is one of the reasons why. It's like, hey, man, he's letting time pass him by. He needs that big signature fight. He wants something, a career-defining fight. And like you said, this fight is 50-50. For all those people who think that we're not giving Loma enough press or enough credit, Loma is an exceptionally skilled fighter, man. His footwork is amazing. His hand speed is amazing. The cat can straight up fight. He's a pound-for-pound top 10, definitely pound-for-pound fighter. I have him in top 5, but I don't have him 1 or 2. Like some outlets, but he's a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, and I think Rigo is too. It pisses me off when they don't put Rigo in there in that same category.
I agree.
I
agree.
No doubt about it. I mean, once again,
shame.
Me too. I
It's
feel
a damn shame.
Yeah. It's almost like college football. You have that 1-loss team versus the 0-loss team.
Right.
But the 1-loss team is in, but the 0-loss team is not. And you're trying to figure out how is that,
right?
In a sense.
And they have similar resumes and everything. Like that.
The resumes are almost the same. It's like, how is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, man, there was someone in the comment section.
One team is darker than the other, though. So that's
that's a.
We didn't want to state the obvious.
That's a huge.
We didn't want to state the obvious.
And speaking of that, Kirk, somebody in the comment, it was a decaf in the comment section. Once again, he said, why does race have to be brought up? You know what's funny about decaf saying stuff like this? Every time when they see them racist comments in the comment section that's brought up for no reason at all, just a racist comment,
right?
You notice they never respond to that person and say, hey, man, why does race have to be brought up? Why can't you just keep it boxing? Now, when it's something bad said about a black person directed to him, then all of a sudden,
keep it going.
Now they don't care.
Keep it going.
It's good. But when someone is exposing racism, now you're like, hey, man, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff.
I know,
right?
Man.
Like I remember the Cheerios commercial. They make a Cheerios commercial that's an interracial commercial. Who complained about that commercial? It was racist people that complained about that commercial, right?
Right.
Now, nobody brought up race, but that's the main thing that's on your mind.
Exactly.
And decafs like this one in the comment section, he didn't care about the people complaining about that.
No.
Once again, you don't complain about the person committing the crime. You complain about the person calling the cops on the person committing the crime, right? What kind of neighbor? Hey, seriously, Mill, what kind of neighbor are you? We got neighborhood watch in the hood, right? We live in a beautiful neighborhood, right? We all show up at the meetings. You mad that we having meetings and somebody stand up like, yeah, man, I think this car right here is suspicious. You pissed off at that, but you didn't have no problem with the dude that was breaking in the houses and everything.
Right?
So what does that say about you? You one of the criminals. You know what I mean? So
aiding and abetting,
you conspiring,
aiding and abetting. It's collusion.
It's collusion.
It's collusion, baby.
Yeah, man. We know what time it is at the end of the day, man.
Right.
And it's nothing but facts that we hit you with over here. That's why they don't call in. Like I said, I want this decaf to call in. Go ahead and call in. Matter of fact, you just put your area code in the comment section, and we'll make you priority. We'll go ahead and take your call. All right. So, but they ain't gonna do it though. They ain't gonna do it though. It's a lot safer to just post it in the comment section.
Jimmy J, what else you got for us, Jimmy J?
But you know what?
Speaking of that,
go ahead, Jimmy.
Speaking of that decaf, they be having so many canned, predictable, racist talking points. It's ridiculous.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? They're talking about, you know what I'm saying, why we bringing up race. Because a lot of times with other groups, when there's boxing talk, it brings out the ugly in a lot of people and stuff like that. So, of course, we're going to have to call out the BS.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because Yeah.
So we have to call it out, man.
Go ahead.
I mean, and there is no effect without a cause. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so if once again, obviously, if we talking about it,
right,
it's because it's relevant.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it has like I said, man, there's no doubt about it. Boxing is largely based on, it's not a coincidence. That's why we call it the coincidental list. Boxing is based on race, nationality, and pride.
Right.
That's what it's based on.
It's extremely tribal, man.
Oh,
it is.
No doubt about it.
You
because
know,
with basketball, football, you know, your football team or your basketball team loses, you know, it's not as personal.
Right.
You know, because, you know, all the people on the basketball in the NBA, they all look the same for the most part.
Right.
You know, so your team loses to another team, it hurts a little bit, but it's not personal.
It's not personal.
You know, but let a race lose to a particular race.
Right.
Now it's all personal.
It is, man.
You know,
and you beating them with your fists, man.
Yeah,
Boxing is like, it's like no other sport. You can talk about beating somebody in basketball, but you ain't walking away lumped up, or your nose ain't broke, and your nose not broken, and your jaw's not broken, and you know you're not peeing blood, and you know when you get whipped in the ring, you walk away with an ass whipping. You know, this is a sport where, you know, hey, you bested a man. You know, this man tried to tear your head off. You trying to tear his head off. Boxing is like no other sport, except, you know, MMA and kickboxing. You know, fighting sports. So I mean, when it gets that personal, and when people talking about besting you like that, you know, hey man, you know, boxing is much different. Much different.
Absolutely. And once again, the person in the comment section, like I said, he keeps chatting in the comment section. He's listening to everything we saying, but he will not call in though. He won't call in. What's this? Somebody say what's this? Go to 706. Is that him or is that just somebody
I don't know. They've been it's been up there for a minute.
Yeah, do you Okay, let me go ahead. Hold on. Let's go ahead and take another call. Hey, Jimmy, I'm gonna let you go, man. I'm gonna get to another one, all right, fam?
Okay, brother.
All right. Hey, good talking to you, man.
Always a pleasure, man.
My man, Jimmy J. Smooth, man. Let's go ahead and take another call. Let me see who this is. All right, we got 904. What's going on, man?
This my man.
Y'all thought y'all could get rid of me.
No, I knew it was you.
I'm back.
This is the internet.
Oh,
hey, this is super.
This is super decal.
This is super.
Hey, bring it on, man.
Decal my AZZ.
Okay, tell me.
That's all right.
All right, don't just troll though. Don't just troll though. Talk boxing. We don't want to get rid of you. If you willing to get on.
The thing is, Dante, I never hung up on you last time, bro. I lagged out. You remember how I told you that the lady told me I muted? Bro, I'm going to get back to you with your race baiting behind, Dante. Wait,
hold on. Let me ask, because I didn't hear. You said race baiting behind? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Race bait.
Hey, hold on.
Wait.
In case y'all are wondering, that's a term they use on Fox News a lot.
Race bait.
Go ahead.
But let me know.
You probably picked that up on Fox News.
I want to ask you a question, bro. Because we're going to keep you on for a minute. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
First of all, the first time you called in, the first thing you said after Deontay Wilder knocked out Joshua, you said Deontay Wilder just a wild swinging, this and that. You completely discredited Deontay Wilder.
That's right.
Now let me ask you a question.
That's right. Windmill Wilder.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Now you are black yourself, right?
Yes, I'm black. I'm black.
Let me ask you. You're American, right? You live out here in the States, right?
I'm American. American.
Do you feel that black people get any type of are they the most disrespected race in the sport of boxing? Do you feel they get any type of mistreatment? Do you feel there's any double? You don't feel at all.
They have done. No, I mean, no, not that. I'm not gonna say at all, but no, I do not think they is getting mistreated more than any other race. They is the richest of the athletes. They is the most dominant of the athletes, and they've been the most popular of the athletes.
Okay,
so why is it being mistreated?
Okay, now Sammy Davis Jr. He was one of the most richest. He was one of the most richest black entertainers at the time, but he couldn't even walk through the front of the hotel that he was performing in. Just because you rich, how does that mean that you're not dealing with double standards or you're not dealing with injustices? Like me and you are both black. So let's say me and you, we both rich, right? And we go to Denny's right now and they won't serve us. Are you going to say that wasn't racial discrimination because me and you are both rich?
Bro, if you rich, you got popularity, you got people coming to you from all type of angles, bro.
You didn't answer my question,
when
though.
you have that type of height, when you have that type of height, when you have that type of money, everybody will come to you from all type of angles, bro. It ain't like all that type of race-based nation. When Floyd Mayweather talking about some this race stuff still in boxing, bro, he never had to deal with Ali deal with. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. That's my favorite boxer. My favorite boxer, Floyd Mayweather. But I gotta keep it real. You ain't deal with all this race-based crap Ali had to deal with.
So because he didn't have to deal with the level of racism that Ali.
Hold on, let Kirk. Yeah, let Kirk respond. Let Kirk respond. Go ahead.
Just because his experiences are not similar doesn't mean he doesn't deal with racism.
No, bro, Floyd Mayweather has been a jackass ever since he started. That's how he make money, bro. People want to say that Floyd Mayweather is this and that and this and that. He don't want you to like him. That's how he makes money, bro. He gonna keep saying this.
Okay,
this is good.
That has nothing to do with racism.
I'll ask this though. I'll ask this.
That definitely has something to do with somebody gonna call you a nigger if they feel
check
like
this
he
out,
can
though.
offend you.
Check this out, though.
Nobody ever calls you a nigger to your face.
Bro, can I get a word in? Can I get a word in?
A monkey and stuff to your face. They say it online because they know it can get to you.
Okay,
go ahead.
Check this out.
You've been around Floyd Mayweather 24/7 his entire life, and no one's ever called him a nigger. Or
If they call him nigger, they said it. And they call him nigger, they send it to his entourage. Bro, what a dude got to be offended for that dude?
Let me ask this though. Let me ask this. Hey, hold on, Kirk. Okay, but listen though. You're saying this is how Floyd made his money, and but he's vilified for it. But how is it that Conor McGregor, the biggest name in MMA, he does the exact, he doing Floyd 2.0. He doing the exact same thing Floyd is doing, but he is beloved everywhere he goes. He's notorious MMA. He's the baddest man on the planet. You don't see a double standard in that.
It's the same thing.
No, but do you see a double standard?
Hey.
But answer the question before you go on.
I'm saying, no, okay, yes, this is double standard, but I'm saying, it's like this. It's like when The Rock entered the WWE. Nobody liked The Rock when he first entered WWE. They thought he was lame. They thought he was like, this is just lame scumbag, bro. Talking about his name is The Rock, Rocky Maivia, and stuff like that. You know, this dude is the most popular wrestler of all time, and there's nobody more conceited than The Rock. He talks in third person. He talking about he can beat this and everybody versus. He said The Rock is cooking this. He told I think he was like the chairman's daughter to get on her knees where she belongs. He says all types of crap, and Rock is the most popular wrestler of all time, and yet he's the most conceited wrestler of all time.
Okay, hold on.
Tell you about it?
But are you comparing racial double standards to WWE characters?
I'm just saying, The Rock is black, though. I'm just saying, The Rock is black.
But it's a character, man.
It's a character. Let me ask you this. Real life. Once again, we talking to my man. He's black. He's American. I want to ask you this, man. When you do see comments of Floyd Mayweather, then if they're not calling him flashy, arrogant, instead of calling him that, they call him a nigger, they call him a monkey, like you just said. Do you personally, as a black person, do you get offended when you see them?
No, I don't, because I feel like I feel like at this level of time, bro, nobody. If you still calling him names, you ain't never gonna like Floyd Mayweather. There ain't nothing he can ever do to prove yourself. You don't personally know the dude, so you gonna say all this stuff about him. I probably gonna say all this stuff about you. I don't personally know you, but at the same time, I ain't gonna get offended for you because I'm not Floyd Mayweather.
So you don't mind white people. You don't mind people calling you monkeys at all. As a black person, you don't mind being called a monkey at all.
No, I mean, sometimes I get offended.
Sometimes. Like when?
Not really.
Like when?
Whoa.
Like when?
Sometimes
really. Like when?
Not really, because
sometimes like when? On a bad day or what?
Yeah, I know.
On a good day, you can be called a monkey all day and it don't bother you if it's a good day.
Well, wait. I don't want to spend too long on the race, but
that's what you brought up. The first thing I said is what's on your mind. The first thing you brought up was race.
Break down the Rigo and the Lomachenko fight.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, break it down. All
right, so I feel like that man Rigo gonna get outclassed by my man Lomachenko. Lomachenko can be dancing circles around this man Rigo. Man, he is too quick, too swift. The feint is going to be out of this world. He ain't going to be able to time Lomachenko because his feints are too good. He's going to be stepping around. He's going to be doing all this head movement. He's going to be angling out. And Rigo is a strictly counter puncher, so he ain't going to be able to time him because he can't make his own pace. Lomachenko is one of the hardest fighters to fight because the hardest fighter to fight is the person you can't hit, and the person you can't what you call it? You can't throw more punches in. The hardest person to fight is a person who's a volume puncher with a good chin. Now I don't know how good Vasyl Lomachenko's chin is, but he got defense. So if you can't knock somebody out and you can't outpoint him, then what you gonna do? Lomachenko is just gonna dance around circles on Rigo, and then y'all gonna see it here first, and I'm gonna be like, that boy Lomachenko is #1.
But this may surprise you. I'm gonna let you speak money. I'm gonna let you speak money.
Okay.
But this may actually surprise you when I say this. This is a 50-50 fight. So what you saying is actually possible in that situation.
Exactly.
But what I don't understand is why are you making it seem like you celebrating it as if you're making it so personal. I mean, all you got to do is break it down. All you got to do is, if you tell me, a lot of people that I talk to, they pick Lomachenko to win the fight. So it's not a surprise when you say you think Loma's going to win the fight. You know what I mean? So and I wouldn't be surprised if Loma wins. But hold on, but let Money just respond to you real quick. Go ahead, Money.
Yeah. The only thing that I think that Loma's going to have problems with is that his advantages as a southpaw are going to be taken away because he's facing a southpaw.
Yeah, I understand.
Most of the times, on average, southpaws have problems with other left-handers.
I know. Yeah.
Because of the angles are not different. They come in.
That's not necessarily true. That holds true.
No. On average, okay? Because I fought as both a righty and a southpaw. And when I go in there against a guy who's a lefty, and all of a sudden I can hit him a whole lot easier. And when you're used to that, that's one thing. But if you're not used to that, like, for example, Lomo can turn those angles pretty smooth on the righties. He's not going to get away quite as easy on Rigo, who can turn angles as well.
I think you can. You know why? Because when you look at southpaws, you always notice when orthodox, a southpaw is slightly more bladed than another southpaw. He always stands slightly more bladed. So if he can throw his left hand and then Rigondeaux tries to slip, he's just giving him a leeway to just slip, get over to the side, and then throw his right hook to the body or his right hook to the head. All he has to do is throw his left hand, wait for Rigo to slip, and then take over the ground. He just took up. Now he's he's at an advantage. You ever seen Roman Gonzalez fight?
Of course.
Sure.
You seen when he fought Cuadras? No, not Cuadras. What's his guy name? What's the Mexican guy he fought?
Estrada?
Yeah, Estrada. You remember how he kept cutting angles on Estrada every time he leaned to his right, he would cut over and then throw a left hook to the body. He's going to do that all night against Rigo. He's going to be swatting down his gloves with that little hand thing he does when he swipes down your gloves and then hits you and stuff like that. He's going to be dancing all over Rigo, man. I swear, Dante, bro, I can school.
I just got one question. If
you talk about promotions and stuff like that, I don't even deal with it, bro, because it's always he say, see that.
Hold on, let me ask him one question.
Go ahead.
Well, really,
I just got one question for you.
You're just speaking your opinion like everyone else.
That's it.
Yeah, but like,
okay, listen though.
I feel like boxing talk, man. If you're talking about critiquing a fight, let me do it because I can critique a fight, man. Like I feel like I can actually school some of these dudes if I actually got in that gym. You need to have like some sort of sweepstakes where somebody can fly me down to Vegas and I can beat on these fighters at the Mayweather Club because they all suck.
So you picked Ali. You picked Ali to beat Cotto. You picked Ward to beat Kovalev in the rematch. You picked Ward to beat Kovalev in the rematch.
I didn't know who to pick.
I thought you knew who to pick, though. You just said you knew who to pick.
I honestly didn't. I picked Ward to win the first match, and he did. I actually betted on Ward. I actually picked Ward to win the first match, and he did.
Okay,
and the second match, I didn't know who to pick because it was kind of Kovalev.
But you said that's what you do. You said that's what you do, though. You pick these fights. You said you pick these fights. Okay, man. But hey,
I got what. Hey,
it was hard.
Go ahead.
I know you.
I gave you a lot of airtime. I'm gonna let Milt ask you a question real quick. Let Milt ask you.
What odds do you have on this fight, and how much money should the people in Vegas? What are the odds of Lomachenko winning, and how much should someone put down, knowing it's a set guarantee based on what you're saying? Because you have the whole thing down. So.
Yeah, okay, so like if I actually made like a little rule thing for the plus and minus like ratings for Bavada, I would put 500 for Lomachenko and I put 300. No, I'm sorry, I put 200 for Rigondeaux.
Okay.
I believe.
So it's not that far off. It's not a complete. It's not a mismatch.
Oh, no,
so 500 for Lomachenko, and then you would put 200 for Rigondeaux.
Okay.
He's moving up in the weight.
Hold on. Hey, I'm gonna keep you on for a quick second. I'm gonna go ahead and treat you and keep you on for a quick second. I'm gonna take another call. Hold on for a second. Because this is somebody been. All right, we got 706. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Oh, 706.
What's going on, guys? First time caller from Atlanta.
All right.
Hey, from the A.
What's good? What's your name, man?
This is Jason, man. How's it going?
All right. What's on your mind, Jason?
I just wanted to call in and destroy some of these myths that have been going around about Deontay Wilder not being a star and shit that have been, going around by Eddie Hearn saying this guy doesn't sell tickets, this guy can't sell in the backyard or something. If I'm not mistaken, Deontay Wilder versus Stavern sold like 11,000 and change in Brooklyn, and that's not even Wilder's hometown. And last night I was looking at Cotto's numbers; he sold like 12,000, and he's supposed to be this huge Puerto Rican star from New York that I'd always sell.
Interesting.
And then another thing, that superstar that's getting all this praise, Eddie Hearn, who's supposed to be this #1 promoter. Danny Jacobs sold like 5,500 seats in New York, and that's his fucking hometown. And Wilder's from all the way over there in country-ass Alabama, so he's selling twice as much as Danny Jacobs in Danny Jacobs' hometown.
Yeah, man.
Why is nobody talking about this except me?
So your point is you don't believe that the excuses of Anthony Joshua not fighting him because Wilder is not on his level, he's not A-side, he's not a big enough star. Is that what you basically alluding to? That it shouldn't be an excuse.
To even go further, Parker's last fight was on YouTube Live, and the fight before that, he sold 3,000 tickets in New Zealand in a fucking small fucking pool hall.
Interesting, man. Great
point. Very good point.
And I want to know why Deontay. Dante. I want to know why you don't say things like this, and why nobody even says these things.
Oh,
why
no.
not? Why don't you say shit like this?
We haven't been breaking down the numbers, but we have been, speaking to the fallacy that, Deontay Wilder is not a big enough draw or he's not a star. Now, we've mentioned that. That's just an excuse for Eddie Hearn to either drag this out or either try to lowball Deontay Wilder when it comes time to for the fight. We've actually been talking a lot about this Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, but these guys are such liars. We have to smack these guys with these numbers in their faces.
Oh, definitely. But the thing is, that was a couple weeks ago, and we spoke on it. Was it Finkel? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Finkel, his manager,
Shelly Finkel.
Finkel.
Met with Eddie Hearn. I think they did breakfast or lunch in New York. And they had already started talking the numbers, but Eddie Hearn was on some BS. I think that what they're trying to do is prolong it.
That was just a fake meeting to show that they're not scared of Wilder. That was just a fake PR move.
That's all that was. It was a PR move.
Let me say, when it comes to and not to cut you off, Mill, but when it comes to the numbers, that's just one aspect of it. The main thing we've been talking about when it comes to Wilder versus Joshua is why there is no excuses for the fight not to happen. That's the most important thing to really talk about, is why this fight is not happening. Why do we have two heavyweight champions and one who's extremely eager to take the fight as opposed to the other guy who's not? And that's the most important thing. That's the main thing we've been talking about. But you're right, though. It's good to know the number breakdown and everything, because that's something you can also throw in their face.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Another myth I wanted to break down, a really big fucking myth that's really lazy. It's really easy to break down. People like Oscar and saying, you guys need a promoter. Who's surprised at promoter saying a guy needs a promoter? And then you've got guys like Linares that can't even sell 3,000 tickets, and Mikey Garcia and Broner are selling like 12,000 tickets without a promoter in Barclays. So
exactly.
Hold on just a moment now. Let's slow that down just for a moment.
They have promoters.
You make a good point in what you're saying to a certain extent. Now, the guys that you're talking about that have this big money, they have a huge manager that has this financial base behind them, which is Al Heyman. Now, Al Heyman is not going to deal with everyone the same way. So you make a good point, but sometimes you do need a promoter in order to help you out.
Yeah, but
cases that you don't have a manager.
Guys like Lucas Matisse, what are they gaining by being on Golden Boy? They could be making more money on PBC and be fighting better fights. So what are they? Those are the kind of guys you were talking about, right? What are they gaining, really?
I mean, well, that's the reason why Al Heyman is an advisor to where he puts together a lot of these fights, and what it really comes down to is the right matchmaking. It comes down to making the right fights. You know, if it's the right fight, a lot of people are going to watch it. Of course, you need the type of promotion where, you know, you got the press conferences and what Oscar De La Hoya, you know, usually does, you know, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez and stuff like that. But my bad, Money. I cut you off. Go ahead, Money. Let me.
No. And just to let you know, sir, what's your name again?
My name is Jason, and this another guy just said in the comments, PBC sucks, HBO makes stars. But another thing I wanted to say, everybody, I like Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford is not a star like Mikey Garcia or Broner yet. His fight in Madison Square Garden sold like 5,000 tickets, and they had to give out thousands of tickets. Fucking Mikey Garcia right now by himself could sell more tickets in New York than Crawford, and that has nothing to do with a promoter or anything. Mikey is just a better self-promoter, so you don't always need a promoter. Those are my points, because everybody keeps bashing Heyman like it's Heyman's fault, this and that. If you're a lazy fighter that doesn't promote himself, you can't really blame the promoter all the time either. I don't believe in that.
To a certain extent, I agree with him to a certain extent, though. When it comes
to a certain extent, I do. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you do need a promoter, you know. But I won't say. Well, the thing is, once again, Al Heyman is not a promoter.
He's not.
So that's the point I think Jason is kind of making as well. You don't always necessarily need one. Al Heyman is kind of showing that, you know, because Mikey is still a free agent. Danny Jacobs just recently got a promoter, but you know, playing devil's advocate, Danny Jacobs may be a little bit bigger now, but because he has the advisor with Al Heyman. And he has the promoter Eddie Hearn, and he's with
Dante. Who is Danny Jacobs going to fight next? He's probably going to fight another soft touch, and he's not going to sell 11,000 like Wilder.
But he wants
I can guarantee you that.
But he's going to the UK to watch that Lemieux versus Saunders fight, and you know Eddie Hearn is going
Canada.
Yeah, Canada. My bad. Mm-hmm. You know Eddie Hearn wants to make that fight. You know Eddie Hearn wants. You know
those cowards aren't going to fight Jacobs. You know that. You already know that.
HBO might put a lot of pressure on them, though.
Yeah,
HBO may, because I think, me personally, I think that was their motive.
Yeah,
I think that was HBO's motive. You know, sign Danny Jacobs and either put him in there with the winner of Lemieux, Saunders, or Golovkin. They want to be there to benefit from whoever wins a Jacobs versus Golovkin fight. You know, so that's pretty much how I see it. But
I think Lemieux is the only one that might fight him since he's the HBO fighter. But if Lemieux wins, I think Golden Boy is going to make the Canelo fight, because that's a big money fight for them. But Saunders, there's no way in hell he's going to fight Jacobs. You know he's going running back to England for 2-3 years again. You know that. Did you hear any inside news on Mikey? When is Mikey fighting next? Any new?
Well, I heard a rumor that it might be the boy from Texas.
Omar Figueroa. What I'm hearing is
he's already sparring, so he knows who he's fighting, probably, right? If he's sparring, he knows who he's fighting.
He definitely knows.
We heard that the talks broke down between them and on the Robert Easter Jr.
Was there ever any talks on that, though? Is what I'm trying to figure out now, because if they're looking at Omar, yeah, we got to try to get on.
The Linares fight was pretty much a done deal. The only thing Mikey had to do was sign.
That was
You know, Golden Boy gave a lot of concessions to Mikey's camp.
No, I disagree. That fight was not done at all, because they offered 50-50, and no way in hell Linares deserved 50-50. My motherfucker can't even sell 2,000 tickets. How the fuck is he going to get the 50-50? Fuck that. Hell no.
But Mikey Garcia was.
Hell no.
But Mikey was about to take the fight, though. But
he was about to take that fight
until showtime, until they threw their bid in.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember 2-3 months ago when Mikey said he really wanted to fight? Oscar was giving interviews after the Linares fight in California. He said, "Oh, we have a lot of options. We might fight somebody in England." So after 2-3 months, then he's like, "Okay, we'll make the fight." Then they're like, "We'll give you 50-50." But I don't think Heyman probably told him, "I'll give you a better offer, and you can fight main event on PBC." And that's smart. He just beat Broner. He doesn't need to fight Linares right away. He can fight him later.
Okay, hold on, and let me go ahead and let.
This is all truth of what you're speaking. But I'm telling you,
my other caller 904. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, bro. I thought the next caller he wanted to jump in, but call in next week, bro. All right, man. That was 904. Oh, I think did my man from Jason, you still there?
No,
I think he thought I was talking to him.
Yeah,
but it's all good. We got a whole bunch of people.
He was talking some good stuff, man. I appreciate him.
Hey, yeah, great caller, man. Great caller, man. Call in again, Jason.
One of the things I wanted to point out to him.
We got a lot more people on hold. We'll take another call in a minute. Go ahead, Mel.
No, I was just want to say, hey, a lot of the people who are detracting from Deontay Wilder, they keep talking about he hadn't fought anybody and Stavern wasn't in shape and la. if he is that bad, they should be jumping at an opportunity to fight him the same way that they did Charles Martin, and that's not happening. And it's not happening for a reason. They don't want those problems in their lives. I'm telling you, if they thought that Deontay Wilder was as easy as Charles Martin, the fight would have happened a long time ago. And it happened, and it hasn't happened for a reason. Y'all keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, once again, that was a great caller that called in. It was a good conversation.
Yeah, Jason, we appreciate it.
But yeah, no, I truly believe that the Garcia Linares fight, that was an easy fight to make. Garcia, I don't think he was complaining that much.
No,
but once again, Showtime, you know, they throw their bid in, and they always, you know, they're usually the highest bidder. But you know, that's how they got Floyd Mayweather, and that's how they just got Mikey Garcia.
They spend money and they make money.
Yeah.
But I will say
they invested
this.
a lot in Floyd Mayweather.
I asked this question since it looked like it may be Mikey and Omar. Who y'all got in that fight?
Oh, come on now.
Come on, who you got?
Come on. That's like let me think of a fight. Let me think of a one-sided fight to use it. Okay, but Mikey Garcia easy. But I was trying to think of a.
You got Mikey easy. Who you got in that one? Money, Mr. Money. I'm going.
Oh, I have Mikey all the way.
And you, Kirk?
Oh, the same. I got Mikey.
Okay, I'm dropping the grenade in the room.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm huge on Omar Figueroa.
I can't see it. Go ahead.
I think.
All right, then.
I'm here to say this, and I like Mikey, but Mikey is on knockout watch.
Woo!
Mikey is on knockout watch in this fight with Omar Figueroa. I want y'all to know I'm 100% behind Omar Figueroa.
You know, the funny thing about that is I could see if Omar style, because you have different type of aggressive fighters. Money, you understand this, and we all do.
Yeah.
But Orlando Salido, for example,
right?
He was an aggressive fighter, but he was an unorthodox type of, you know, kind of like Castillo.
Right.
You know, an unorthodox type of aggressive fighter you can't necessarily always time.
Right.
With Omar Figueroa, to me, he doesn't have that type of unorthodox style, but, you know, he does have the battle attrition, you know, the durability. You know, if
he has a hell of a chin,
psychologically, somebody
a hell
like
of
that,
an uppercut, and a hell of a left hook.
Yeah, if somebody like that, if they can walk through, you know, all your heat and all your, you know, your bombs and everything, and they still walking like Jason Voorhees or something like that, psychologically, you know, that can kind of drain a fighter. But but if I'm forced to bet, I think Mikey, you know, I think Mikey would stop him. I think Mikey was. I don't think that fight would go any more than 6 rounds, man.
Oh my God, man! Oh man!
What was Zatichinen? You remember Zatichinen? Zatichinen was looking real good before he got in there.
And he's a hell of a puncher too.
I expected him to do a lot better against Mikey, man. But
I did too. He comes back next month. No, this month.
Is it this? Okay.
But he's on an 8-rounder.
He's on an 8-rounder?
Yeah, this month. I got it on the rundown.
Mikey knocked his ass back to 8 rounds.
Yeah.
and Omar Figueroa's body is really soft. And I would think Mikey would have the wherewithal to go to that body.
Everybody looks at that soft body. But I'm telling y'all, man.
And remember, he looked great against Guerrero, though.
I know that was against Guerrero. He looked great against everybody. He just had bad hands.
No, he looked entertaining against everybody. It's not the same as looking great against everybody.
That's true.
You know, if you getting hit just as much as you hitting your opponent, you don't look great in there.
That's true. That's true. I mean, if styles make fights, and in fighting that style of fighting, that Mexican, you know, head down, come forward, body shots and hooks, but he has great timing. I love his timing. The way he puts his shots together, he throws great combinations. I'm going with. I don't know if he'll knock Mikey out. I was just being a little bit facetious.
Once again,
I do believe I'm going with Omar Figueroa in this fight, though.
It's great to have.
I'm not going to a sports book that weekend.
What's that, Kirk?
I might go into a sports book that weekend and take your prediction in mind.
Kirk is hoping there's more people thinking like you.
I know, right?
And you know what? The phone lines are lit right now,
man.
Are lit. The phone lines are lit. So let's go ahead. I'll take one more call for now, and then we'll play that clip. I want to play that clip of what Floyd Mayweather said. We got to talk about that. That's some funny shit right there.
It is.
So But let's go ahead and take another call for now. We got 503. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hey, peace, y'all. This is Jelani from L.A.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Jelani? What's good, man? What's on your mind?
Man, all good. A couple of things, man. I just want to say straight out the box, man. This is Rigo's. This is Rigondeaux's statement fight. You know, I think a fight it's going to be one-sided for Rigo. I personally think so because just because it is duck and pivot. His foot.
I love that duck and pivot.
Footwork
man. I do too. I really like it.
Man,
his duck and pivot. His footwork, man, is just because Lomachenko's in there with these guys that, you know, they don't display that kind of ring generalship and movement. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I mean, he's looking spectacular. You know what I'm saying? But going up against a defensive wizard and a guy that could, you know, move the ring like he glides all over the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's like he knows where he's going. He vacates the like open spaces, safe spots. He avoids all kinds of, he avoids shots. You know, so it's like it's just like a chess match. It's a chess. He's playing chess in there, and I think I think it's gonna be just like a one-sided like it's gonna be worse than Dornier, man, in my opinion.
Woo, man! We having a good show tonight, man. We having a good show, man. I like how we just got him. He just saying something that's the complete contrary of what Super Decaf has said earlier, you know, and we ain't calling him. Money is the one that came up with that one. He came up with that. Yeah, Money. We gonna have to get them shirts out since Money came out with that one. We gotta but yeah, we gonna have to send my boy one of them shirts, boy. You know,
most definitely.
But I appreciate him calling in. Though that keep the show going, man. I like.
That's true. I like that.
And when he actually spoke technically about boxing, it sounded like he might know a couple things or two. But the thing is, behind the scenes, he don't know what goes on behind the scenes of boxing.
Yeah,
he don't know.
But what's up with the nah? I know. You know, Loma going to win.
I'm telling you.
I wanted to ask him. Hey, I wanted to ask him. I wanted to ask him if Loma wins, is he gonna call in and say, "I told you, Negroes. Yeah. I told you." I told you. He gonna be peeking in like my man from Django Unchained. What's his name? Samuel Jackson's character. He peeking in on us. Yeah, man. I told you, Negroes. Yeah, man.
I told y'all, man. Y'all breathing all the white man's air with them damn nostrils. I told y'all. Oh my goodness! Good Lord, boy! Good Lord! Jelani, go ahead, Jelani.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, Lomachenko, man. I mean, I seen a lot of clips of him, like, you know, he doing these mind games. You know, he's over there playing chess and Jenga and shit, man, like checkers or whatever he's doing, man. You know, I just, man, the guy, man, he looks like he has some good, you know, training when it comes to that. But it's just that when you in there with something that we haven't seen him in there with anybody like Rigondeaux, man, like a defensive guy, you know. So it's just, yeah. I mean, that's just. I mean, we gonna celebrate all of. Hey, I'm gonna call back, but hopefully we gonna. Hey, dude, this is gonna be the biggest fight, man, for a long time, man. Because I mean, Rigondeaux knows. Hey, the brother knows what's on the line, man. He knows.
Oh man, this is a case of, this is a Cinderella story in boxing. Man.
It is.
I mean, no doubt about it. It's a Cinderella story. You know, once again, Rigo, the Black Cinderella. You know, just completely dogged out. You know, treated like crap. And, you know, now, you know, he has an opportunity to put on them glass Jordans right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we going to see, you know, if he going to put them shoes on and rock them well. I mean, so that's why I noticed, Jelani, even in this situation, like you said, we going to celebrate. I think in a situation like this, it's not considered biased because you're not biased when you're rooting for Cinderella. Right. You know what I mean? You're not biased because you see how that person is being treated.
Right.
And that's what makes you want to root for
the underdog.
And when you watch movies, that's how movies are always built and set up, right?
Exactly.
That's how they always directed.
Exactly.
Basically, you know, you have the underdog in the movie.
Right.
You root for that person. Right. The villains, you know, treating them like crap. That's how Rigo's entire pro career has been. Ever since he beat Donaire, he's been cursed by the decafs and the old media. That's what it's been, man. But once again, there's no guarantee. This is still a tough fight, but Jelani and everybody on the panel, I mean, you know, the biggest question is, can Rigo land his left hand in the first couple rounds? And I think that's going to determine the outcome right there.
I think so, too. I think so. He got to get that left hand. I want him to get that left hand.
Got to get it in there.
And is Rigo and is Loma going to be able to take away the left hand? So, you know, but I think Rigo is different than Adonis or Deontay Wilder or Manny Pacquiao when it comes to one of them, you know, dominant straights. I believe Rigo, you know, he can adapt and adjust a little bit more, you know, when it comes to setting up other type of punches. Even though he's left hand heavy, you know, he can do so many more things with his with both hands, I believe.
Exactly. And I'll tell you this, man.
He goes to the body. Well, I mean, when he throws a left, he throws a left hook. He throws actually a left shot to the body, man. You know, a left uppercut. That actually is like, it's almost like an uppercut, but it goes to the body. And, I mean, the guy has his vicious body punches too, man. I noticed a lot of his in a lot of his fights, man. So I mean, it just, man, yeah, like you're saying, man, that left hand is gonna be key, man.
Yeah, it will be.
And once again, like I said, just to go back to my analogy, somebody said that, well, I don't know if he's talking to us or he's talking to people in the comment section, but someone said, y'all mad bias. Once again, I go back to the Cinderella analogy. You know, you will never call somebody biased,
right?
Because they rooting for the underdog, because they rooting for Cinderella. You know, now if this was a situation where we just had two good people, you know, and both of them have been treated fairly, and we just think, yeah, man, I'm riding with this, you know, F the other dude, then that's a different situation.
That's a different
situation. I mean, you had, after Kovalev called black people monkeys, you had people in the comment section saying, oh, y'all just biased against Kovalev. How do you, I mean,
and that's the thing. I picked Kovalev to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I picked Triple G to win in his last three, but I done picked Triple G to win in every fight he has fought. Since I saw him fight the first time. Yeah. And so it's not like I'm biased against anybody based on skin color. I'm not even really a fan. I'm a fan of one fighter that's fighting today. I'm a fan of only one fighter. I won't say his name, but I'm a fan of this dude. But I will tell you this, I mean, I'm a fan of the sport. And if you can fight, I'm going to give you credit. If you white, black, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, Chinese, Korean, I don't care where you from, I will give you credit if you can fight.
Yeah.
Lomachenko can't fight. He beat Gary Russell Jr., which was a phenomenal win. I did not think that he would beat Gary Russell Jr. He beat the Axeman, and we can blame it on the layoff, but you laced him up. You got your ass in the ring. You got your ass whipped. There's no excuses for it. And those are two. I mean, he has beat some sound cats, man.
You know, let's take. We got a lot of
Sosa,
cats on hold.
You know, I mean,
hey,
so
Jelani,
I gotta give him some credit.
Not to cut you off, man, but
I know.
Hey, Jelani, excellent breakdown, bro. I'm gonna get to another call, though. Okay, man.
Hey, man. Hey, always appreciated you, man. You guys do a great job. Thanks, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Before I take another call, what was I about to say about that? I was about to say something else about what we were just talking about. I think about it. I remember. But let's go ahead and go to another call. I want to try to get some of these guys in because they've been on hold. We got 901. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's going on, man? This is James calling from Memphis.
From Memphis?
Memphis,
Tennessee. All right, man. What's going on, James?
What's going on? I first want to say, man, I'm definitely a big fan of your channel. Like, I just really got into boxing, like, really, besides knowing the big names a few years ago, and it's all because of you. Like, I had no idea who Errol Spence was, Money Powell, all these great fighters that's going to be running the game in a few years. Like, it's all because of you.
Appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that.
So,
thank you.
One thing I wanted to point out is, I don't understand, well, one, there is no way a black fighter with 11 total fights, winning 10, losing 1, no matter what kind of skills he has, would ever appear in the top 5 for 5 pound for pound. I don't care who he beat in those 10 fights. There is no black fighter that will ever have only 11 fights and appear in the top 5 pound for pound ever in life. That would never happen. Like, I don't care how many gold medals, amateur fights, he would never get there unless he's like has at least 20 wins or something.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, I agree with you, but I'm gonna go ahead and say something that's probably in the minority when it comes to this situation right here. One thing I will say is, depending on who those 8 fighters you beat, you know, it could be considered impressive. You could, you know, be catapulted to pound for pound status. I mean, let's not forget your boy Leon Spinks. He beat Muhammad Ali. Yeah, you know, with only a couple fights. I mean, you also, let's just say hypothetically, if you do, I'm just saying hypothetically.
But what I'm saying, they're going to be ranking them. I don't think that they still wouldn't rank Leon.
I agree with him. If it was somebody on a coincidental list, you know, they're not going to give him the credit. I agree with that. I'm just saying, but if you beat somebody, I'm just saying personally, my criteria, if you beat like 3, you know, pound for pound, top 10 fighters that was on the pound for pound list at the time, and you only have like 10 fights, then I think that's an exception, you know. But you know, if you have like 10 fights, you only be, you know, maybe one significant opponent or something like that, then yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more harder, yeah, to be on that coincidental list.
And you took an L too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like there aren't any kind of blemishes.
And he never avenged that L.
Right.
And he never avenged the L. Yeah. You know, so yeah. Well, I mean, and I wasn't using Lomachenko as an example. I was talking about somebody, you know, that was more accomplished, you know. But no, I agree with what he's saying, you know, basically, yeah, especially if it was somebody on the coincidental list, it would never happen. It would never happen. So
well, you know, Milt made a good point. This was a few weeks back. Milt made a very good point. He said, you see a lot of these European fighters, like a lot of your Eastern European fighters, they 10th fight, 12th fight, you know, they're fighting for a championship. You're not seeing, I'm just, you know, it just invoked what we're talking about right now, about what Milt had said a while back, and I thought about it, and I said, man, that really makes a lot of sense. That's true.
It is.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt
really
about
is.
it.
And then another thing I want to point out, I feel the guys, they always talk about Loma's defense, Loma defense. He has good defense. But I've seen Loma get hit almost every fight. Like
especially his last fight. He definitely got hit in his last fight.
His last fight, he had some problems.
Yeah, it's not like he doesn't get hit. And he's faced some good fighters, but he's never faced anyone with the combination of speed, defense, power, and ring IQ that Rigo will bring. He's faced some good fighters, but he's never faced anyone with the type of speed that Rigo has, and especially not the power in that left hand. And he's definitely prone to get hit. Like, he's proven he can get hit, and he bleeds too.
Yep.
Like he definitely bleeds over that eye.
Yeah,
like these are that I don't think.
Once again, we'll find out. Like I told Mike, I mean, you know, we'll definitely know which direction the fight is going by. I think like the first 2 rounds. But I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta let you go and get to another one, family. So I appreciate the call. All right, man.
All right, no problem.
All right, take care. So I do remember what I was about to say earlier. No, it's funny. Once again, you know, only in America, you know, it's taboo to basically say you a fan, you know, of fighters, because the majority of fighters out here, you know, in America, you know, are Mexican American or black fighters, right? So, but if you can't say you a fan of a black fighter, because especially, you know, but once again, but when you, like I said, when you go to the Philippines, for example, when Pacquiao fight, the only time the Filipino media comes over here is if Pacquiao is fighting, right?
Right.
So clearly we know they're Pacquiao fans, and we don't look at that as them being biased, right?
Right, exactly.
We don't look at them as them being biased. Sometimes you see Canadian media comes over here for Lemieux. I've seen it at the media press conference.
I remember it,
You know, you'll see somebody from Thailand come over here for V-side, you know, but only in America it's taboo, you know. If you were to say, you know, I think I might like that guy Andre Ward. What you mean you like him? what are you biased or something, or whatever?
Like the Filipino media come over here to cover Andre.
Yeah,
you know, SOG. No, man. I understand,
it's like telling
man.
somebody you atheist when you say, you know, that
and you can be. Hey, look, man. I can rep these Georgia Bulldogs all day long, which I do. But the thing is, you can pick a football team, basketball team. You know, you can watch other sports media outlets, major media outlets, and the anchors on there, They're talking about how much they're Giants fans or they're, you know, Yankees fans, or dissing the Cowboys or whomever, you know, whatever team. You can do that in any other sport, but in boxing, man, if you choose one fighter over another, which I rarely do, man, I really try to be unbiased, and I look at what skill set that a fighter is bringing to the ring. And if I think that a fighter, you know, possesses certain skill, Loma, man, has tremendous footwork. You know,
but it's only particular fighters you can't, like I said, because you could sit over here. I mean, you could tell people that you just straight up love Golovkin or whatever.
Right.
You know, that won't be considered bias.
Right.
You know what I mean? But let you say, you know, oh, you know, you don't even have to say you like them. You could just give them credit they actually deserve.
Exactly.
You know, you could just say, yeah, you know, I mean, Ward, oh, you know, whatever. Deontay Wilder, that's a hell of a right hand.
Right.
Whatever. You know what I mean? You can't say it. And that's because, you know, people in people in the States, you know, they're used to discrediting. I mean, let's just say it. They're used to discrediting black fighters. So now when you have people actually giving them credit, a lot of fans are not used to that. You know, the old media didn't do that.
Right.
You know, so this is kind of odd to them. Like, huh? What? what do you mean? What do you mean this Andre Ward? Foreign. I like that. It sounds foreign to him. Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking, a lot of people, I saw some comments in there mentioning Money Powell IV. A lot of y'all, I don't know if y'all know that he had a fight this past weekend. Was it this weekend? Was it this past weekend or was it?
Say it again. I was looking at the comment section.
Money Powell IV.
It was last month.
It was that was the one from last month.
Yeah, we didn't even have to. Yeah. We didn't have to bring up that the time of it. You know, we were just gonna.
If y'all want to see, hey man, if y'all want to see one of the funniest, funniest things in boxing I've ever seen, go on to, you know, Dante's Boxing Nation. Go to the page, man, and check out this clip of the highlights from that fight. This young man hit a man. I've never seen anybody turn all the way around or do a 360.
A cold-ass Michael Jackson move. Yeah, cold-ass Michael Jackson move right there. You know,
James Brown, Michael Jackson. He hit my man, and my man spent he did a complete 360. Oh, my God, man. That was hilarious, man.
Like I said off air, man, I mean, you know, Money going to start getting credit for all these new dance these new dance moves that's coming out. Right. You know, all these new dance names and everything. You know, the nay and all of that, you know. Yeah, he gonna start getting credit, you know, for some of these dances, man. But
oh yeah, don't forget that clip too, man.
Let's go ahead and play that clip. Let's go ahead and play that clip. Hey, so you guys on the phone, you're not gonna hear it, but everybody is gonna hear it watching live right now. So we'll go ahead and sum it up after we play the clip. So let me go ahead and play this clip real quick. We're going to go ahead and play this clip of what Floyd Mayweather just recently said, which is the stuff that we often talk about, you know, over here on this channel. So you guys will see it. I'm going to go ahead and play it straight from my man Boxing. Here, let me go ahead and find it right 360. Here. Boxing View 360. Shout out to that Facebook channel. If I can find it over here. Where is it at over here? Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. So once again, I'm queuing up this clip that I want to play for you guys with Floyd Mayweather talking about where'd that goddamn clip go? Looking for this damn clip. I know you just had it too. Yeah, there it go. All right, we got it now. Okay, so here, let me go ahead and play this real quick, y'all. Where is it at? Here we go, right here.
Right there.
All right, we're gonna play it right now.
Wasn't Oscar De La Hoya the same one? Wasn't Oscar De La Hoya the same one that was talking about me fighting Conor McGregor? And he was trying to protest and stop the fight? Now, he's trying to fight Conor McGregor. Is he a hypocrite or is he back on coke again? Is he a hypocrite or he back on coke again? Both. Shit, Conor McGregor might not even be able to fight. Man, that man still on that. Man, that boy still snorting them lines.
Okay, that's good enough.
That's good enough right there, man.
So anyway,
you said that boy still snorting.
Hey, you
lines.
guys, Money and Kirk, did you guys hear it or no?
I really couldn't hear it. No.
Okay, that's cool.
I heard some of it.
Okay, but anyway, Floyd Mayweather, once again, we talked about these double standards. And once again, that's the reason why it's important. You know, don't listen to that crap when people say, you know, don't expose this stuff or whatever. Stop beating a dead horse. Because the message that we putting out there is resonating. You know, you got Deontay Wilder talking about the double standards. You got Floyd Mayweather talking about it. Okay, so for you guys that didn't hear Kirk and Money, Floyd Mayweather just recently said that, you know, Oscar De La Hoya was the main person protesting against the McGregor fight. He was the main person saying he was against it, he opposed it, and et cetera, et cetera.
He tried to get the fight banned.
He tried to get the fight banned. And now all of a sudden, when Floyd finds out that Oscar said that he's secretly training to get a McGregor fight, he said, what did he say? He said, say it. So go ahead and say it, Milt.
Hey, he say, what did he say?
He said that boy. He said, is that boy still snorting them lines?
He's still doing.
He said
coke.
That boy is still doing coke.
I can't remember. Is he something or is he still doing coke?
Yeah, he said that boy. He said, is he still snorting them lines? He said that boy is still doing coke. That's pretty much what he said. You know, you guys. So.
And then he goes on. Later on in the clip, he talks about how to let y'all know. He say, I carried McGregor. I wanted to make it entertaining. Absolutely. He said, I wanted to make it entertaining for y'all. Yeah. So I carried him for a few rounds just to let y'all know.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which I don't doubt. I think that you know, Floyd probably, if he went ahead and applied pressure around 3 or 4, he probably could have gotten him out of there a lot quicker.
I don't know if he did. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if he carried him, but all I know is it was, you know, it was basically going to happen eventually.
It was.
He was going to stop him. He was going to stop him eventually. You know. So
that was. I just wanted.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me though. It wouldn't surprise me
because
like
even Paul Malignaggi mentioned in their interview, he said he spoke to Floyd and he'd asked him, you know, like, why weren't you cutting the ring off and doing basic boxing, fundamentally things that we're accustomed to seeing you doing? And he pretty much told him, like, I wanted to drag the fight out. I wanted him to you know, suffer. If I were to cut the ring off, I'd get to him quicker. If I'm just following him around the ring, you know, he's backpedaling and exhausting more energy, and the punishment's lasting longer.
Great point, Kirk.
Very great.
You
point.
Can't argue that. That makes sense because that was the biggest question to me. I remember when I was watching it, that's what I kept saying throughout the fight. Why isn't Floyd cutting off the ring? And I kept saying when we was watching it, I said, if he cuts off the ring, this fight is over. If he cuts off the ring, the fight is over. You know, and so yeah, it's very possible.
You know, I want to transition into another topic. There's something that's close to this one. From what I'm hearing, Dana White and UFC are considering venturing into the sport of boxing. One thing that kind of caught my eye. A lot of people are not thinking about this, but I always considered PBC. What they were doing was an attempt to try to kind of control boxing, and similar to the way that UFC controls MMA. And I'm just curious as to how people were able to, you know, they were taking Al Heyman to court, talking about he was monopolizing. How is it that Dana White and the UFC, they're not a monopoly? There are other UFCs. You know, I mean, not UFCs, but other MMA outlets, organizations. You know, World Series of Fighting.
But Dana kind of bought off. He kind of bought, you know, a lot of them out though. You know,
right?
Like,
I know,
like WEC, Strike Force.
Yeah,
he bought a lot of them out.
But they,
not Dana White, but I guess Zuffa or whatever.
Fertitta Brothers.
Fertitta Brothers.
Fertitta Brothers.
Yeah.
But check this out. But how is it that they're saying that Al Heyman was monopolizing when you still have other promoters, you still have other, you know, it's not like he collectively took all of the belts. Now he grabbed up a lot of the talent, but I just was never quite clear on how they were saying that he was a monopoly when you still had other fights that could be made.
Once again, man, they feared something that they had never seen before. I mean, he was just doing his job better than them. That's what it really came down to.
Exactly what it came down to.
He took advantage of the fact that no one was putting fights on free TV. You know, that was just...
I did correct myself, Mr. Watson. Yeah, I understand UFC is not a sport. No, that's Pittsburgh Brew. Yeah, I got that part. I misspoke. I know that UFC is not a sport.
Yeah, but you already retracted that anyway.
I corrected myself.
Yeah, but
well, I may have sent you a link, Dante, like a while back, that there were talks of Dana branching out to do his own thing and to branch out and start his own boxing, not league, but like promotion per se.
Oh, promotion.
Like
that's pretty much what you was talking about.
That's what I was alluding to,
okay.
and it's kind of like
right.
What if Al Heyman had all of the top welterweights, all of the top, all of the top fighters at a weight class, and he came up with a PBC title, and he had nothing but, Thurman forced to fight Spence, the way that the UFC does it, but it kind of cannibalizes it a little bit though, because in MMA or in the UFC there aren't many. Once you see a fighter lose a couple times, I mean, he pretty much out of the running. You don't see him.
Yeah.
They kicked out of the UFC. Dana White banishes him.
Well, I don't know about that.
Unless they're big names. Unless they're the big names.
Unless they're have blue eyes.
Yeah, hey, them cats be getting knocked out and coming right back though, man. I mean,
I'm serious. There's a lot of cats.
What was that, Gustav? Like you said, unless it's blue eyes with like Gustav Alexander
Gustafsson.
Yeah, Gustafsson. They brought that boy right back after he lost.
Yeah.
They did that with a couple cats in the MMA. But you know what? Something else. Before we take another call. Should we go ahead and start the predictions for since we've been talking about Rigo and Lomachenko, but we haven't done official predictions yet. So you guys want to go ahead? So Kirk, since you haven't really talked a lot about it, let's go ahead and start with you, man. Break it down, man, and give me your pick, man.
Now on this pick, I'll openly be biased. I'm rooting for Rigondeaux. And I really hope to God he wins, but I think the odds are set up for Lomachenko to win, and I have to factor in Lomachenko's a great fighter himself.
He is.
Absolutely.
And I think that I think Rigondeaux either has to fight a perfect fight or knock Lomachenko out, and moving up 2 weight classes and being the older fighter, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. And I do think eventually Lomachenko's activity will wear down Rigondeaux. Initially, I think Rigondeaux can look good, but as the fight wears on, he is in his mid to late 30s, and I think Lomachenko will make the adjustments where he can eventually start applying the pressure that he likes to apply. And I think he'll score a little bit more, and he'll edge out a victory.
All right, Milt, let's go with you, Milt.
The way I see it, I'm loving Rigo in the that turn and pivot that he does. This is Loma's. I'm not sure. I just like the southpaw against southpaw in Rigo's favor. So much more. I see it being a tough tactical fight, but I see Rigo hitting Loma with some of the cleanest shots that he's ever been hit with. And I see that kind of frustrating Loma. And I think that Rigo is going...
It's a tough one.
I'm going Rigo with the decision. I don't think he'll knock him out, but I think he's going to hit him with some hard enough shots that he's going to give Rigo Loma's respect. And I think that it's going to be somewhat of a boxing lesson. I don't think he's seen anybody like Rigo, and I think it's going to be a tough fight for him. And so I'm almost wanting to say it's going to be a draw, but I don't want to take the chicken shit way out. You know what I mean? So if I have to pick somebody, I'm gonna go with Rigo in a very close decision.
Money, go ahead, buddy.
Hey guys, I have to kind of hurry up. My wife just pulled up, but look, I see Rigo getting out front big time, and Loma may start to make adjustments as it goes on. I'm going to go with split decision for Rigo if he can get out far enough up front.
Yep,
I got you.
Okay, hey, Money. Well, I'll let you go. Go ahead. Anything else on your mind before I let you go, Money?
No, that's it.
And I want
that's it. But you guys, what's that?
No, go ahead. Like I said, I wanted to get Money Powell the fourth get his take on that too. But we'll get it when we get you back on the horn, man.
No doubt about it, man. Look, you guys take it easy and have a good one, okay?
All right. Hey. Take care, man.
Hey.
All right, Money. Take it easy.
Show up. All right, then.
Okay, guys. So that was Money Powell the third. Once again, for those of you guys just hearing his voice, his son is one of the best prospects in the sport of boxing right now. Money Powell the fourth. Check out his knockout highlights and his full fights on my channel, Money Powell the fourth. So I'll go ahead and get my take on this one. This is not a type of prediction I'm real comfortable with because I once again, I mean, it's rare that we get two fighters on this level when it comes to skill set and talent and accomplishments in the ring, amateur and pro. With that being said, I mean, with Rigo moving up 2 weight classes, I'm really interested to see how he's going to deal with that. I still believe that Rigo's left hand, even moving up 2 weight classes, is probably going to be more effective and have more power than any punch that Lomachenko throws. The thing is, with Rigo, he's battle tested already. We seen him get knocked down. We seen him deal with adversity. We don't really know how Lomachenko is going to deal with adversity. And like a caller said earlier, I kind of feel the same way. I can see this happening. I can see if Rigo is able to land that left hand early and land it a couple times, I can see that really, really discouraging Lomachenko.
That's how I feel. That's what I feel is going to happen.
And
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, go. It's okay. And we seen Orlando Salido kind of discourage Lomachenko a little bit. I believe that Rigo, he can definitely discourage Lomachenko with that left hand. So, but
I think he's going to the body too.
Oh yeah, the body.
Loma is not used to people going to the body on him.
Yeah, absolutely. And something else that I talked about earlier is Lomachenko, who had a great win over Nicholas Walters. You watch those first couple rounds, you notice that Loma had a lot of respect for Nicholas Walters, which is understandable.
Right.
But he couldn't hit Walters at first. At first, he couldn't hit him. And if Walters, who's kind of a flat-footed fighter compared to Rigo, was able to slip a lot of Lomachenko's punches, imagine how many punches Rigo can slip. But the difference with Walters is, I think Lomachenko, at first he respected him, he couldn't hit him. But once he realized, wait a minute, this dude Walters, he ain't throwing nothing back.
Right.
So all of a sudden, Lomachenko took advantage of that. He put his foot on the gas, and Walters didn't respond. He didn't come back with anything. I think that's going to be the difference when it comes to this fight right here.
I really think so too.
So I'm slightly leaning. I'm slightly leaning towards Rigo. I mean, once again, but it's one of them fights where it's not going to surprise me if Loma wins the fight. But if I'm forced to pick, I'm gonna go with Rigo in this one. Go ahead, Kurt.
I'd hate to cast a narrative, but I can see Rigondeaux actually winning the fight, but losing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah.
But if it happens that way, I mean, hey, man, Chavez, Pernell Whitaker all over again, you know? So, I mean, it's going to be a moral victory. And one thing I will say, speaking of Chavez, Pernell Whitaker, one thing that was interesting, and this is before social media, because social media, it completely changed, the perspective, when it comes to how certain fighters are perceived. But I remember going into that fight, Julio Cesar Chavez, I believe the KO magazine, Ring magazine, he was considered pound for pound #1, the best fighter in the world. After that fight, they put Pernell Whitaker, even though Pernell Whitaker got a draw in that fight, they switched the roles and they put Pernell Whitaker as #1, and they dropped Chavez down to like #6. So he got the credit, but once again, with social media, it's different now, because now since they basically controlled by what everybody says and perception of the fans and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times, the media and everything, they'll go with that narrative. You know what I mean? Exactly. So whatever the decals are saying, a lot of the old media will go with that. So I wouldn't expect, a fight on the coincidental list to get the same type of respect that Whitaker got before, social media. So yeah, man, but that's how I see this fight playing out. I mean, but hey, man, this is But I feel where you're coming from, Kirk. Like you said, I mean, it could be a fight where Rigo can win every single round, you know, and you know he'd be jumping up and down, and then we hear some comical, you know, bullshit at the end, you know, with the announcer, you know. So that's very but I just have a feeling that if Rigo lands his left hand, it completely changes the dynamic of this fight. You know?
Think so too.
I mean, it's going to be it's going to be one-sided if Rigo starts landing the left hand early. That's what I believe. You know, and just like Money said, you know, the fact that Rigo is southpaw as well takes away, you know, that advantage that Loma would have.
Right.
You know, and neither one of them have an advantage in terms of that aspect, but at the same time, Loma has never dealt with an opponent.
Exactly.
He's never dealt with this type of adversity, or at least we think he's going to deal with adversity. I mean, for all we know, it could be another Walters fight. But
hey, let me tell you, I will come over here next weekend, and I will give Loma all the praise in the world if he goes in there and he looks spectacular, and won't be ashamed to do it either. I mean, if he goes in there and he does what he did to Russell Jr. and Walters, hey man, he is #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. I will say it, gladly say it.
I can agree with you, and I said it before. I said, you know, whoever wins this fight, I truly believe, without any controversy, I believe you could say they're pound for pound because, like I said, if Rigo wins, then that means he beat Donaire, who was top 3 pound for pound when he beat him,
right?
And now he beats Lomachenko, who's top 5, wherever you want to put him in that top 5, and vice versa. If Lomachenko wins, you could say he beat Gary Russell, Nicholas Walters, and then Rigo. So that's a hell of a resume.
That's a hell of a resume.
You know,
in
12
fights. Well, I think HBO already has him #2 anyways.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I was going to say.
It's either HBO or ESPN. I think they have Golovkin and Lomachenko 1 and 2.
Yep, they do.
Golovkin? Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow,
he is not lying.
Man.
Yeah.
And this is the comical shit that we deal with in the sport of boxing. But Jim Lampley had him #1 after, just like Andre Ward said to Jim Lampley, you know, I mean, look at the billing. This fight was billed as pound for pound. The first fight. He said, so according to you guys, I'm already supposed to be considered #1. He said this to Jim Lampley, a person who, you know, ironically had Lomachenko considered pound for pound #1 after Ward beat him a second time, stopped him in a convincing fashion, and and Jim just wouldn't let it go.
He wouldn't let it go.
Even Max was like, "Well, Jim, this kind of doesn't really add up." It's, you know, you can see Max kind of, you know, being as nice, you know, trying to put it as in the most nice way he could put it, but he was like, "Jim, yeah, all right, my man, Money is back."
It's interesting.
Go ahead, Kirk.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's interesting how the fight will be commentated because it's going to be on ESPN, and Teddy Atlas will be the commentator. And he's shown in the past to have a preference for Lomachenko. I think he even told Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward to their faces.
Yeah,
and this is after Terrence Crawford beat Ndongo and unified the titles. And this is after Ward recently came off knocking out Kovalev, that Lomachenko's a better fighter than him, #1 pound for pound, which I couldn't believe. But
and that was just heartbreaking, man, to just see Teddy Atlas just come out of nowhere, you know, completely left field.
I know,
you know, because he's so knowledgeable, and you know, and he spoke the truth in the past for so long, and to just see him just completely just flip like that.
He got on the train.
I mean, especially the commentary with the Pacquiao Jeff Horn. Oh my God! I was like, is this Teddy Atlas?
Hey.
I mean, he was fuming. He was like
foaming at the mouth.
Man, he was like he was like Larry Merchant mixed with Jim Lampley, and that you know, in that fight, I'm like, come on, you know, Teddy's my boy, man. What happened, Teddy? How did they get to you? What was it your drink or something? You leaving your drinks around? And I mean, what's going on, man?
A lot of moderators in there.
What? Okay, we got some. Yeah,
we got some going off up in there, man.
Yeah, a bomb done went off. Let me see if the moderators are okay. Yeah, Co Sheldon is. Yeah, I haven't looked at the comment section. But let me try to. Okay, but anyway, yeah, man, we about to wrap it up. You want to take another call, Milt, or what?
Let's take one more. Let's take one more, man.
Let's go ahead and take another. I apologize, guys. The phone lines are lit right now, and the show was.
It is.
But let's go ahead and take another call. We might take another one, but we got 469. What's going on, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, man? I've been trying to get in on it for a minute, man.
I know. We apologize.
Hey, man.
This is calling from Dallas.
I appreciate you holding.
I called last time you went live.
Okay. What's going on? What's on your mind,
I remember now.
Oh man, great show again, man. I was just watching the show
Appreciate it,
like
fam.
always. I know. They got one question.
Okay.
Out of all the fights this year, what do y'all say was the best fight? Me personally,
man.
I think it's the Badu Jack and James Miguel. To me, that was the best fight this year so far.
You talking about in terms of entertainment and excitement, or are you just talking about significant relevance, or what?
Excitement.
Excitement. See, I'd have to go back because I'm gonna end up forgetting because it's the end of the year, so I'm gonna end up forgetting some of the fights we had earlier this year too.
I know.
But Badu Jack was one of them. Which was another good one?
Of course, Joshua Klitschko.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was. That was.
See, that's a question we got to have.
Brooke and Errol Spence.
Oh yeah. Kell Brook, Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Like I said, in terms of like fight of the year, type
it's
of
gonna
candidate.
be tough. We're gonna be doing our. We said Klitschko Joshua.
Klitschko Joshua.
And then that DeGale Jack was pretty good, man. Both of them got knocked down. Both of them,
DeGale Jack was a You're right. You're right. DeGale Jack was a good one. That's definitely a candidate. So. I mean, I'd have to really think about that one because I'm forgetting some of the fights. Because I know once I get off air, I'm going to be at the gym or something. I'll be like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Then, So
we get to the close to the end of the year, and this year we're going to try and do wrap up like we did last year. We're going to do fight of the year, fighter of the year.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Trainer of the year. We're going to do
we said trainer of the year, knockout of the year, fighter of the year, prospect of the year.
Yeah.
What other? We gonna do them all.
Yeah, we gonna run it down for y'all.
I only got two more quick questions, and I'm gonna hang up, man. Who you got at Kovalev and Stevenson? And I want to see Money Pal, man. I want to see him on the show, like not his father. I'm talking about the son.
I'm right here.
That's Money Pal. Oh, okay. Hey.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt anything because I know you guys are talking.
Oh, hey, look at that. Now, see, you asked for it only on Dante's Boxing Nation. You asked for it and you get it, just like that.
Just like that.
Well, I want to show you Dante. I'm just playing.
No, it's all good, man. But before I talk to my man Money, was it anything else you said you want to mention? Do you want to say something to Money since you talking to him right now?
I just want to know, like, man, he looked really good, man. I just want to see him keep fighting, man. And I just want to know who you got at a Stevenson and Kovalev.
I'll let Money answer first. Go ahead, Money.
Well, first off, man, I really appreciate the support, man. It really means a lot. I'm going to keep working hard and make sure I keep getting the results that we've been getting. So I really appreciate it. But I'm going to go with, man, Stevenson's a lefty, but Kovalev doesn't have like a left hook. It seems like he's just like a 1-2 fighter, and I think that's going to give him problems. But I think I'll go with Kovalev just because Stevenson, he's like inactive a lot. But when he fights, he has a lot of power in that left hand. But I think I'll roll with Kovalev just because he's more active, man. I don't see Stevenson fight a lot, man. And he's getting older too.
Yeah. Stevenson's almost 40 years old.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, and what was your fight of the year, Money? What was your fight of the year so far?
Fight of the year.
Now, fights where you made the dude spin around. I've seen that.
Let me see. Dang. Now, if we're going on fight of the year, you mean like a war or just somebody just a class performance, hands down?
You personally, what was your favorite fight? Me personally was the James Miguel Badu Jack. I just feel like that was a really that was a really good fight. Off the top of my head, just because it stood out to me, I really like when Terrence Crawford just dismantled and Dongo the way he did.
I know that probably wasn't like a firefight, but just Terrence Crawford, man, like it's how many other guys you know that just knock out other world champions often.
Excellent point, Money. Undefeated champions. You don't see it too often. Excellent point, Money.
Not often.
Yeah, man. But hey, man,
you gonna be the next one, Money. I'm out of here, man.
Hey. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thanks for calling in, man. Hey, now, once again, for everybody just tuning in right now, you guys are listening to Money Powell IV, one of the best prospects in the sport of boxing right now. If you guys haven't seen my man making opponents do the mashed potatoes and the stanky leg, go ahead and check out my videos. Just go ahead and go to my channel and you'll see. I mean they doing some of the coldest dance moves, man. So Money, man, congratulations, man, on once again all your success. Your last fight, you got a dominant win over Adams. His name was Adams, right?
Yeah, his name's Adams.
Yeah, man. So how did you rate your performance in that fight, man? Like I said, we was talking about how you had doing the Michael Jackson, James Brown spin. Yeah. You know, that was impressive. How'd you rate your performance, champ?
I feel like I could have done a lot better because I'm not the one to try to sugarcoat my performance when I know I can do better. But like the first round I came out and I was really like a little too energetic, I would say, and I'm not gonna lie, I lost my balance, and I had went down. The guy had threw a punch, it hit my shoulder, but I was off balance. I went down, got right back up, I swept the whole fight after that. But still, there's some things I can improve on, just as I continue to grow as a fighter. I came back and I dominated, but that's never good enough. I just gotta keep on getting better and better every fight, learn from the mistakes, and just continue to grow. That's the biggest thing. Just never be satisfied with this performance. Just got to keep on going to retire, and then I can be happy then. Till then, I got to keep growing.
Absolutely, and once again, man, I'm still hearing these stories of you knocking out a lot of these grown men. Once again, you 19 years old, and you in there still sparring with a lot of grown men. I mean, are you feeling the difference, when you in there with these grown men, with you still being a teenager, and you in there with guys, pro fights, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, how much is that making you better?
It makes me a lot. It makes me a lot better because it is different fighting when I was an amateur, fighting other teenagers versus fighting grown men, because grown men, the mindset's a little different. They're a little physically stronger, and it makes me grow too, because they're a lot tougher, not just physically, like mentally, because they look at you like, this is the key, I can deal with this. So if I can break them down the way I've been doing, it's just gonna keep making me get better. And I like working with the older guys, preferably because of the strength difference, the mentality. They punch harder. They're just all around a little different, and it makes me grow as a fighter. And I really like that, especially when they're skilled too. That's the biggest thing, being skilled, and it helps me get better too.
Okay. All right, and this was the main thing. I wanted to get your take on this huge fight this weekend. How does it go down, Money? Lomachenko versus Rigo, man.
The gold medal bout, man. This is about to be an awesome fight, in my opinion. But it's hard to pick because they're both so talented. But I'm gonna just have to roll with Lomachenko, really, because I watched Rigondeaux fight, and he's amazing. But I've seen him get hurt multiple times by other guys, and I think if Lomachenko hurts him, like I've seen him get hurt and drop, then I think he's gonna finish him. But I'm not saying it's gonna be easy now. I think it's gonna be a really technical bout. I think it's gonna be very technical. But I think if Lomachenko can use his size and his strength, then if he lands a shot on Rigondeaux and Rigondeaux doesn't react the right way, he's going to get him out of there, I think.
I think so, too.
That's why this is such a great fight. I mean, you see how it's been. Well, it's been split tonight, but surprisingly, well, I don't know if this surprises. It definitely won't surprise Money, but the majority of professional fighters and trainers, I got predictions from and asked. The majority of them picked Lomachenko to win the fight. So We'll see, man. We'll definitely see. All right, bro. So what you got lined up? I heard you got a fight possibly coming in February, right, Money?
Yeah, hopefully the end of January, early February. But I'm always in the gym working constantly, man. So whenever they give me that call, I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna be ready to go all the time because it's never like a dull moment. I may like turn it down some in the gym, then we turn it right back up. So I'm always ready. Whenever they give me that call, I'm ready to go.
Well, that's what it is, man. Once again, you guys are listening to Undefeated Prospect, my man Money Powell IV. Anything else you got on your mind, or let them know where they can follow you as always, champ, before I let you go, fam?
Biggest thing, first thing first, I always got to give all glory and thanks to God, because, without him, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today, and without my parents either. The people that help support me, like you, my coach that helps me get better, all the people around me, and the people like the fans, I really appreciate the support, because without you guys either, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in. But you can follow me on Instagram at MoneyPower4, and you can follow me on add me on Facebook. It's Silver Pal, because for some reason Facebook won't let my name be Money, so I put Silver Pal. But that's where you can follow me at. But once again, just thank you, man. Dante, always thanks for showing love, bro. It really means a lot. Big time, man.
Likewise, family. Yeah. Likewise, man. Thanks for always participating and doing the show. We're gonna follow your progression, man. So I just can't wait. Till we just keep following it and it get bigger and bigger. Yeah, and we can say,
man.
We was there.
I'll be out there in Vegas one day, so I'll be able to come stop by the radio.
Oh, you already know it, man. Looking forward to it, man. So keep me posted, and I'll catch up with you on the next one. All right, fam?
Oh, yeah, thank you, man. Same to you. Be safe.
All right, man.
Peace.
Likewise, man. Take care, man. So, yeah, that was my man. Yeah. All right. So that was Money Powell III, and then you just heard Money Powell IV right there, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all the calls, guys, but we'll definitely be back next week, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Milt, what else we got?
Just real quick, I know they were talking about knockout of the year, but if y'all haven't seen that one from Zolani Tete. Bantamweight champion, 10-second knockout a couple weeks ago. Go check it out online. Threw a vicious right hook, knocked my man out of less than 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God, man.
I got to check that one
vicious.
out.
Zolani Tete is his name. But just a couple things. Kell Brook is talking about making his comeback around March time frame. He says that this year coming up, he wants to mix it up with the big boys. He wants to either go after Mel Charlo, Hurd, or Lara.
But didn't he run out of eye sockets though? I mean, you only got 2, right? I mean, god damn. I mean, when they cut off 10 fingers, you ain't got no more fingers left. I mean, god
man,
damn,
come on, man. You making me weak, bro. Come on, man. That's the reason why I was gonna say, man. But you know that a title changed hands last night at 154 pounds, so probably could expect Mr. Saddam Ali to be getting a phone call probably sometime soon.
And that fight does make that seem like the safest fight for both of them, right?
Exactly.
And that would be
moving up to 154. Both of them. Well, I mean,
both of them just moving up to 154. I mean, right. Kell already fought at 160.
Yeah.
So that would be a great fight. Kell Brook versus Saddam Ali. I was about to start talking about it, but it's no reason to break it down yet. But that most likely will come to fruition. That seems like the safest fight for both of them.
It seems like it.
Unless they just want to go after, just go straight from the, goldfish to the sharks.
It was another fight that kind of caught my eye. I was gonna won't do a big rundown, but Rungvisai
Estrada, right?
At Estrada, they're going to headline Superfly 2.
It's a great fight.
Inoue is going to fight on the 30th of December and then turn right around and fight in the Superfly 2 in either February or March or whenever they set the date for it. So he's going to fight like 2-3 months apart. So we need to get my man Dwayne, yeah.
Dwayne, you know, as soon as you start talking about NOE, that's the first thing I thought about was my man Beeman.
Yeah.
And congrats once again to Beeman, man, getting that win out there in Mexico, stopping his opponent. But go ahead, Milt.
Yeah, and then there's a name that I'm about to say, man, that I'm so happy that he's on his way back. And let me see when he's fighting. But it's Antoine Douglas.
He finally coming back, huh?
Yeah.
That's the man right there.
Yeah, I know, man, and I'm so
glad
happy.
he coming back, man.
But he's fighting on the that Billy Joe Saunders Lemieux undercard. He's fighting Gary Spike O'Sullivan, 10-rounder. Cletus Seldine is fighting again on that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting again on the 16th of December. So if everything goes correctly, man, next weekend you got the nothing happens. You got Lomachenko-Rigondeaux, and
which should keep us full. Which should keep us full for quite some time.
Yeah, most definitely. And then also on the HBO card that night, Orlando Salido versus Mikey Romain, and then Tevin Farmar is Tevin Farmar is heating in a war of words with
Tank.
With Tank. Tank is back in a war of words with Devin. From what I saw online, they've had some harsh words.
Which is perfect timing for us to upload that clip, because I still haven't uploaded the clip of what he said, because I uploaded a couple things that he said, but I got to upload.
There was some people asking like, hey man, what's up with the sparring session? What did he say about the sparring session? I'm like, hey man, y'all check out y'all come to the site and check it out. You can hear it from the horse's mouth. So, but yeah, this month, man, 2017, going out with a bang.
Going out with a bang.
Yeah, man, there's some big fights here at the end of the year. So we'll keep y'all posted. I was gonna go all the way until the end of next month, but we'll wait until the rundown next weekend. Oh. But that's all I have for right now.
Okay, and what else? What else you got, Kirk?
Nothing much. Thanks again for having me on, and everyone, please tune in to that fight on ESPN with Lomachenko and Rigondeaux. So, two legendary fighters. Two of the best fighters of this recent generation. Two of the greatest amateur fighters, arguably, of all time. So we definitely need to show support and witness the greatness.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And my man Coach Sheldon was asking if Dwayne Beeman is already training with Robert Garcia. He's supposed to be going out to Riverside to train with Robert Garcia, I believe around the middle of this month. And I'll be out there getting some of that footage. So that's a good look for Dwayne. That's a good look for Robert Garcia. They kind of both need each other. Right. And even Robert Garcia said on camera, he was like, "Oh, it'd be a good look." He was like, "You be my, my first black, fighter I'm training." Right. Which is true. Right. And it would definitely sell. You know what I mean? I mean, him having, and not only does he have his first black fighter he's training, but one of the best fighters, Yes, so he has a gifted fighter, right?
And I think that
Dwayne don't want me to talk about it yet. He doesn't want to put it out there because he don't want to he said he don't want to kind of live off of some of these guys' names, or that's how he believes it'll be perceived. But Dwayne beat some really, really big names in the amateurs. But we'll talk about that when the time is right. Right. He beat some really, really big names in the amateurs. Yeah, but go ahead, Milt.
No, I was just saying, man. I think it is a good thing for not necessarily a good look, but a good thing that could probably catapult Dwayne's career. I mean,
no doubt about it.
Hooking up with a team like that, man, that's a godsend. And then polishing up some of that stuff that he's already gotten, man, with somebody as a hell of a trainer. Like Robert Garcia, man, is a godsend for that young man.
No doubt about it.
I'm really happy for him. I'm hoping that works out.
Yeah, it might be. It might be a new version of Pacquiao and Freddie Roach, So, yeah,
right.
Man, we'll definitely see.
Dwayne Beeman going all the way to 147.
Oh boy, let's not go there. But anyway, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and put this graphic back up. Lomachenko versus Rigo this weekend. Hashtag Loma Rigo is going down, y'all. We about to find out who is the man. Pound for pound, possibly the best fighter in the world. But that's pretty much all I got. We will see you guys next week. We'll be doing this 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 9 o'clock Eastern. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Oh, yeah, one more thing. I'm going to keep my man Milt in the studio for a little bit longer because we're working on my new channel, Dante's News Nation. All right, so stay tuned. I got some videos already put together. I haven't uploaded them yet, but anyway, it's Dante's News Nation. We're gonna be talking about all the trending topics, and you don't want to miss it, man. You definitely want to make sure you subscribe. We're gonna be talking about all these trending topics. So that's pretty much all we got for now. You already know what it is.
Just the nation.
All day. Yep.